Hi everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Candlestick, and today I am going to be playing my book nerd, Crystal, who, sure is probably going to have a time today. But then again, when does she ever not? And I am joined by the absolutely lovely and wonderful.
Gosh. Hi, I am Chicken. Actually, I'm author, but I will be playing Chicken. We are also joined by the fantastic.
Me? Oh, okay. Hello. Yes. Hi. My name is DEWP Kieran, DWP. I'm playing. I mean, when it comes to Crystal, there's really only one out three guys that I will be playing. Unless somehow that changes. I don't know how, but yeah, Eenie, Miney, and Mo are going to be the fellas running around today. Also, what's the name of this FPS?
Oh, that's right. It is Nesting Know-How.
Oh, good. I still can't remember it, it just goes from my brain.
Shake your hands.
Gently pet you.
um, anyway, starting, God. Okay, I can words. Um,
Take your time.
so T.O.C, you've come to visit Crystal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this feels like a good opportunity. Would you like to roll a perception check as you, get to her, apartment?
I would adore it. I think that's my favorite role for TFC these days.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
nat 20.
That, that's...
They
Okay.
are a broken chicken.
Um,
That's a nat 20, total of 30.
Um, well, okay. TOC, as you are approaching the door, and I kind of want to give you more of it. That's such a good roll, but uh, you hear, you can hear some music coming from the door, and it's piano music. And I probably should roll to see how well she's doing at the moment. But um, yeah, I think with that nat 20, you might even recognize some of this music from uh, well, I don't. I'm pretty sure um you wouldn't have heard Juniper play, but maybe you've, I don't know, got a cursory glance at um some of the songs when she had them a while back.
Sorry, you cut out for like the last syllable of that.
Oh, I said when she had them a while back, and
Mm.
that that seems to line up with what you might remember seeing.
Yeah, they have heard Juniper sing in Pianos and Coffee, or Coffee and Pianos, whichever one it is.
Ah,
I don't know if it's the same song, but like, so there's something about the cadence of the music and, the pattern of the dots on the page. They can't read music, but I think they stop and they just sort of like they smile because gosh, everything that reminds them of Juniper is the best thing in the world in their book.
oh. That's a 16 in performance, so it's not bad actually. Maybe a little bit rusty in some spots, but it seems clear that whoever is playing has done this before.
Hmm, interesting. Yeah, I think they sort of self-indulgently like pause before they get to her door and just like enjoy the music because with us like rusty or not, it's really good. They can't do that, but they like eventually because they are here with a purpose. They will reach up to rap on the door with their wing, look at their wing, and realize that it is just fluffy, and go with their beak.
Ah. I suppose. I'm. I should roll a perception for this. It'll be a very low perception, but I should roll it nonetheless.
Mm.
Nope. Okay. No. Yeah. She definitely hears you. So the music stops. And then there's a quiet set of footsteps, and then the door opens. And I think there might be a looking at head height before no one there, right? Where's the next place to look down? And so her head comes down and she's ah talk because that's what she knows you as from I believe that was established in our last one, that's what she doesn't know that it's spelt out yet.
I don't think that she does know. Gosh.
And
They sign, just a
sorry,
sign language hello.
yeah,
Because they remember that she knows that.
and hi, come in. What brings you here today?
They step in and they go, well,
Have you
that
been
was,
having more trouble with the well, you know who?
they were going to sign something else, but they stop and they go, they are a permanent fixture.
Fair.
Voldemort? No. God. Somewhere the dead god is like, what the fuck?
Oh, she didn't say their name mostly because she's like, I don't know what brings them their attention, but I don't really want to like I not today, please.
Not today. We don't need that. Um, yeah, it's like if she's like interested, they will like gripe like they completely ruined my flower pots the other day. You wouldn't believe like, but they eventually like belly aching aside, gossip aside, they I think they look around the room for like a piano or anything like, and they sign that was. I don't know if you were playing, but that was absolutely beautiful.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna go off of that nat 20 plus 10 perception from before. Is you see all in this apartment, despite the fact that it is still sort of a mess. Um, and yeah, you do see it's one of those little secondhand keyboards up in the corner up against the window, and is surprisingly free of junk.
Nice.
And Crystal will I think she actually blushes a little bit and oh thank you. I been repicking it up recently. Not very good yet.
You were lovely. You should talk to Juniper about that. She plays as well, just a little bit, and like no insight necessary. Like this is like you could play like a 7-year-old, and they would be like, this person has the most talent in the world.
Oh.
Like it's sort of that firm, like easily impressed manner of like it's good because you do it.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a little bit of a chuckle and funny. Juniper was the one to inspire me to get back into it.
Mm. They like they nod like yes, good. Connections are being forged.
Hmm.
But they You can roll an insight check if you want, but they take another look around the apartment and they go, "It's did you have a break-in?"
Uh, uh, sorry about the mess. That was a friend. They they were house sitting for me while I was gone. And uh, yeah,
Did they sit on your house?
that was an insight, by the way.
Uh, okay, with a unnatural 20. Before they sort of switch topics to the fact that your room is a mess, um, you can see sort of a flicker of light. They have something else to talk to you about. Like they are um they are stalling before getting to something more important.
Fair enough. I think in that case, Crystal has clocked that. But yeah, these things, she has probably some first-hand experience that these things are better not pressed straight away. And unless it seems like it's going for too long, in which case, try and bring it up. So I think yeah, what she goes is no, no, they didn't sit on the house, but they're just that sort of person, very chaotic. You would understand if you'd met them.
Mm. They nod very seriously. They are occasionally that sort of person themselves. Um, they like they might like poke at like if there's something broken on the ground, they sort of like very like regard it very carefully, like they're thinking of like poking it. They go, um, and they look back up at you like, actually, Crystal, there's something else as well.
Yes, I thought that this might not just be a casual visit.
Mm. They take a
I
deep.
think
Oh,
she
sorry.
gestures to the table, which has been again, it's another spot that has been cleared off. There's more color, like some of it does spill under the table, but the top of it has been at least and a fair amount of the space around it has been cleared off, so it can be used as things. She will gesture to, like, did you want to? Is this a better topic to talk about sitting down or?
Mm. Yeah, they'll waddle over and sit. They try the chair and then they're like, "Wait, I can barely see," and then they flutter up onto the table
Fair enough.
and they will wait for her to sit down as well.
Yep, yep. She makes her way over. I'm gonna say that it's probably been cleared off enough to for her to be able to make her way around her apartment without having to do dex checks like last
Mm.
time. So yeah, she follows and sits and just sort of like she's got her very professional face on because I think at this point she's assuming that this is something on your end. So
Mm. And they like shuffle their wings and like they take a deep breath and they raise their wings to sign and then we switch focuses.
Yeah, the camera kind of moves from where T.O.C is just about to sign, and it just whoop, switches very quickly to the door. And I don't know if they're. I'm gonna say that you two won't hear this because you are too busy having the beginning of a conversation. But the flat will hear this. They will hear the. And I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll.
oh, this is gonna be
Where
funny
is my
either
roll?
way.
right, cool. I mean, it would be funny if they failed, but this also works. You're just about to sign something, T.O.C, and it's just like, and with a thunk, the door is kicked open, and slams against the side of the wall, viciously with a thunk. And you're gonna hear two large feet walking through this door, and you are also going to hear you're gonna hear as they come in, Crystal Holy Pick! As they stride through the door. And we hear Eenie, Miney, and Mo just come on through and continue saying, Crystal, Crystal, come here a second. We got something that I think you'd be super interested in. And yeah, you just hear them thudding around the living room.
I mean,
Actually, I've got to make a quickly.
it is a fairly open space, so I think you would be in the corridor, like I'm sort of picturing it as like the front door. There's a little bit of a corridor, and then it opens out into the living space, which is living room, kitchen combined sort of area, and then the wall is essentially like the edge of the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, they're just gonna come on through. I'm gonna roll them a perception because if they don't see you whilst they're trying to do this, I have an idea of what they're gonna do.
By the way, author, I'm not going to make you roll, but as soon as the voice rings out, Crystal puts her head in her hands with a groan.
Okay, so 16. They could tell you're in the kitchen probably, because you're not in the living room. So they're probably the kitchen. And you're gonna hear the thunk, 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 head over towards the kitchen. And you two can roll me a quick perception as well if you'd like.
Sure.
I will absolutely, but also, I will say that as soon as T.O.C heard that voice, they have arrived.
Another
Oh my
one!
god, that was a nat 20.
Holy shit!
That's 20s already.
And a 21.
And a 21. Okay.
But
okay, with the perception. Sorry.
T.O.C will. Sorry. T.O.C looks very very quickly over at Crystal, were they the ones?
It's just
Gesturing it.
a nod, yep.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But I think, at this point, Crystal, because she's had enough experience with to know, do not take your eyes off them. So that's why she's taking her head out of her hands and is just looking, I think, laser focus. What? What have you done now?
I will say, you will smell something before you actually see them. You smell, actually, I've got to roll a d4, see what they bring in. Nice. Okay. Interesting. Cool. You are going to smell something hot and greasy coming your way. You see the little wafting marks coming through the kitchen archway and over to you two. And you take a breath and oh, that smells like pizza. That smells like real hot pizza coming your way. And Eenie, Miney, Mo come in and you can start to figure out why you only heard Miney, because Mo at the moment has his mouth just stuffed full of 4 pizza boxes, real big pizza boxes. These are not small. These are not hand-sized. These are the extra large, chunky frat party-sized pizza boxes. And I am going to roll another thing. I should have rolled it earlier, but I forgot to do that. And that's at a -1. Yeah, that's about right. And you will see that Eenie has his mouth. He has a few books shoved in his mouth. He does not look happy with the books being shoved in his mouth, and he is glaring at Miney, and Miney is paying no attention to either of them. And they come on over, and with a poof, Mo just plonks down the pizzas right between the middle of you two, and just sort of, Bonnie, next time could you be the one to carry the pizzas? Man, I can't feel my jaw. Yeah, well, if I held the pizzas, then Eenie would have had a better chance of getting at them. You hear it coming from Enie's mouth. And Molly just says, Eenie, you can spit them out now, mate. We're already in the... I think at least they get a chance to let the pizza before you gobble it all down. And they just kind of... Eenie just plonks 2 books down on the table and just also stretches his beak and jaw out. And while Eenie and Mo are doing that, Miney just turns between the two of you and says, "Oh, what's going on, Eenie? What's going on with you two?" And I've got to roll another thing because okay, that's decent, cool. As Miney looks between you two, it takes him a second, but he freezes as he locks eyes on T.O.C. And T.O.C, you can both see him very slowly reach down towards his ruff, and just as his beak gets to it, he stops, pulls it away, shakes his head. He's like, "No, not today, not today. We promised no more things in Crystal's apartment." Right. Anyway, what's going on with you two? Anyhow, and they're just gonna plonk themselves right down next to you both, and yeah, they've parked up.
Wouldn't you like to know, Tupperware boy?
Did you sign that?
Yep.
Hey,
Crystal
author.
catches that then.
Author, do you remember that? Do you remember that these 3 don't know sign?
Yep.
God, fucking damn it!
Oh god.
Just get.
That was less for Eenie and more for Crystal, and also them if she'd like translate. They don't mind.
Oh yeah. Crystal is clocking that. Oh, there's a familiarity between the two of you, and it's not necessarily the good kind. It's just like just okay. Like okay, she's not gonna ask where the pizza came from, even though she is highly suspect that it might have not been theirs originally.
I mean, you can roll insight if you want.
No, like at this point, I don't know if she's like, there's always too many things to address. She's just gotta pick the biggest one. And right now,
There's too much going on with them. You can't address it all at once.
she's more concerned about the fact that Tupperware boy and am reaching for something when they saw T.O.C. and like, what did you do?
Did she say that out loud, or is she just thinking that?
Yes, she does say that out loud.
Um, Eenie and Miney just look at her and say, "Well, what do you mean, what did we do? We didn't start it, to be fair." "Yes, absolutely. We didn't start anything. It was actually them who started it. I mean, who sneaks up on someone whilst you're in a museum pretending to be, dead or fake, and then just decides to move and blink and attack you? That's not, that's not on, that's not, you don't do that in a museum. That's incredibly inappropriate, and so, well, we reacted as anyone would at thinking that, well, one of the exhibits had come to life and was trying to attack them."
As they're saying this, T.O.C is either nodding or shaking their head according to whether or not it's true.
Okay, I think Crystal's been paying more attention to
Like,
T.O.C. than to M then.
like, yes, they're in a museum. No, they did not attack. No, they were not trying to look dead. Yes, they did blink. They're not sure if that's a crime or not in EMM world, but okay. And at the very end, they just sort of they add they're good boys occasionally. In much the same way that like a great aunt or an uncle might be like, oh yes, they're really good boys at heart.
And So I think Crystal is just gonna sigh and go, I suppose, Eenie, Miney, Mo, this is T.O.C. T.O.C, this is Eenie, Miney, and Mo. I am assuming you guys have met, though I highly doubt introductions were done at the time. Don't put them in a Tupperware container.
At that, they're just gonna, like, Eenie and Miney are gonna blink at Crystal before they're just gonna turn their heads towards T.O.C and squint and say, so you told him then, told him about that, did you? I mean, I understand. Look, it wasn't on. Could you just not? They are just fumbling for a thing. And whilst they're doing that, I'm just gonna check what Mo's doing right now. Lad, what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm saying with that 22 in intelligence before, and given the fact that they did try and Tupperware box the paint when they first met,
Yeah.
that she put 2 and 2 together fairly quickly from that comment.
Okay.
God.
I will say they're giving T.O.C a look like, I can't believe you snitched.
And they're giving them a look like, I don't know what you expected. You're not subtle. The fact that you're not in the news already is a miracle.
I will say that Mo is has been too busy kind of stretching his jaw to really be paying attention, and while these two are having their little glare off with T.O.C or silent communication, he just continues on saying, right, well, I mean, we didn't just show up for no reason today. We do actually have something that, might be interesting for you, Crystal. And, I mean, if T.O.C's here, they might want to join in too. And, yeah. And he just taps his beak on the books and says, take a look at these and tell us what you think.
Alright, well, you offered books to Crystal, so...
Take these
probably...
offerings as a token of my appeasement.
Yeah, I think I will roll I think I will roll an investigation.
Go for it. T.O.C? Is T.O.C wanting to look at the books as well?
I think that they will look, they kind of like, they do remember the books that they gave, Eenie, Miney, and Mo the other day. Like, they're definitely looking if any of them are familiar.
Well, you may recognize one, as that beginner's guide, that you bought for Eenie. Crystal, there seems to be quite a few books. I mean, you saw Mo, spit out a couple of books, but it seems whilst you guys have all been talking, he's actually pulled some more out of his hammer space, and popped them on the table. And, there's just a load of books on, like, home interior decorating and design. And I'm gonna roll more things again because I need to roll for this. Oh, and Eenie reaches into his hammer space, and Marnie continues on saying, "Oh yeah, we are actually here, because we realised that we might have come in beforehand and dumped. Well, not dumped. We didn't dump anything. It's not dumpage. All this stuff is valuable. We just got to find a place to put it, and try and find people that would like this stuff. It's treasure, and you get treasure when you do hard work and earn it. And Eenie pulls out something and pops it on the table, and it is a box of stuff, and bits and bobs. What's anyone saying? Yes, it's. Well, we realise that we may have actually accidentally perhaps cluttered up the place a wee bit, and obviously we don't want to make clutter for you. We just want to, bring you nice stuff. Because we don't actually have anywhere else to put it apart from our hammer space, and on occasion we have accidentally pulled out a giant chest. We don't need it, and that's not good for anyone. And also we know you like magical things and old things and rare things, so we thought actually finding a place to put all these things would be beneficial for you. And also we might just want to spruce up the place because Enie's been having a bit of a fun. And as Mo continues on, Eenie just reaches around and just bonks him on the head. It's like, shut it.
Can
So they're just
Tears
like,
roll
yeah,
insight on that?
go ahead. What are you rolling insight on specifically?
Whether or not they're hiding like an injury, a sickness, like if something's going wrong that it shouldn't be happening, like.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let me double check because it's been a while since I rolled. Okay.
Are you rolling that on Mo, or what are you rolling on this specifically? Because,
Um,
like, Eenie reached over and bonked Mo on the head.
they want to know what Mo is probably going to say, so I will leave that in your hands.
Okay. Well, with a 17, considering what you've given Eenie, you definitely realise that Mo was just going to say that Eenie wanted to spruce the place up because he didn't like how it looked and he wanted to, like, organise shit so it was more comfortable for everyone. And then Eenie just reached over and bonked him before he could say it.
Okay. They'll follow that away for later.
Yeah, once they put all that down, they just kind of stand themselves up from the table. They haven't actually sat down. They sat on their haunches, so you don't know what the hell just made that noise. Don't worry about it. And then they just walk away from the table. I'm gonna see actually if Mimi can do this because he would. There you are. Let me get that mod up. Yeah, that's dirty 20, he absolutely does. And as they walk away, Miney says, well, I don't know, I mean, we could do it ourselves, obviously, but, Crystal, obviously this is also your place and we don't want to put stuff up you don't want. So, you know, if you want to, like, either give us advice or put up some more your stuff, shoot things around a little bit, you know, spice things up a little bit, make it a bit more pretty while we're going on and out about it. And as they're talking, Eenie just kind of very slowly slips his head underneath one of the lids of the pizza boxes, and you just hear a noise coming underneath, and then you just see his head very sneakily just come back out, and there is only like a little fleck of tomato sauce, just slightly on one of the lower beaks. Otherwise, yeah, no, the three of them just walk away and head on over into the living room.
Yeah, if you think that Crystal is going to leave them unsupervised while they fix her apartment, she sort of like she shoots like T.O.C. a look is like I'm so sorry, but I need to. They need supervision, and she's gonna
You hear
like
a crash bang boom from the other side of the wall.
and yeah, she's sort of like, what are you doing in there? As
Nothing, don't worry about it.
she rushes out of the
Everything's
kitchen.
fine.
TUC is like left alone at the table, like, ah. Once again, their afternoon has been ravaged by Hurricane Eenie Miny Mo. And they're just like, well, family togetherness is good for the soul, I'm told.
I mean,
You
there is
might
also peace. Oh, go
sorry,
ahead.
you might want to tell Crystal that.
Yeah, like I think that like as she goes, like they'll like bob along beside her, like it's I don't mind. They're family.
Oh god, I don't know how she would respond to that. I think she's gonna compartmentalize that for later.
That might be for the best.
God.
Um, if you two are just walking around the corner, you're just gonna walk around and like you can just clearly see. You don't see any money's heads. You do see their body and their legs. Their body and their legs are sticking straight up, and their necks are just flat to the floor. And their three heads seem to be underneath the sofa. And you are hearing like a clash, clatter, bang, boom noise coming from under there. You don't know what the hell they're doing.
I don't know if she wants to know what they're doing.
How high is the sofa?
How high? That's a good question, Candle. Is it like a sofa that's flat to the ground, or how high off the floor is it going to be?
Yeah,
I
yeah, I was picturing it's a fairly low couch. Like it's one of those like really comfy ones. You know, they're just like mostly
Yeah.
mostly cushion.
Yeah, the good load seaters. Those are good couches.
I ask because I wonder if T.O.C would fit underneath it. Or, like, at least their little head.
I mean,
Um,
considering that M's got their head under there, I think T.O.C can.
Yeah, like, they will, like, potato shape next to them and, like, their little head underneath.
cool. You want to roll me a perception?
Absolutely, I'll roll your perception. Also, one sec, my cat is caterwauling.
Do what you got. Oh, that's
another
another.
nat 20.
That is another nat 20. That is 3 nat 20s already in this FPS. Holy crap. Wait for to get back before. Go.
Man. Alright. The
Cat
chicken
you.
achieves nirvana.
You pop your head underneath this sofa, and it's like your eyes, you blink, and it's like a and suddenly it's almost like you have flashlights coming out of your eyes because you can see everything that's going on under here. There is I think in one of the games I played with Candle before where we just all this stuff kind of happened. In one of the intervals, Eenie, Miney, and Mo kind of shoved a load of stuff underneath the sofa. And they just forgot to deal with it. And then they were like, oh wait, there is actually some stuff under there. We should probably try and get some of that stuff out. And so you see their three heads and necks have just gone underneath, and there's a bunch of like little wooden crates and some books and like a few bits of like cloth and stuff. There's a load of random stuff under here. And it is dusty. It is quite dusty under here. You can just kind of see the three of them blindly trying to like peck their way around to finding these things, and you just hear like, "Ow, stop pecking my hair! I didn't peck anyone. I'm trying to reach the thing over there. That's my hair. You stop pecking me!" And they're just kind of making a tangle of themselves as they try to reach underneath the sofa.
They will clear their little chicken throat. Like, it is like a little voice. Like,
Okay, let me roll something. Because, actually, let me roll two things. Okay. Okay, they have noticed you. Never mind. That's just the one thing they need to do. So they did notice you come under, and with the they will just kind of conk their heads together quickly, like ow. Hey, hang on. T.O.C, why are you under here? Get out, go on. We could do this by ourselves, thank you. If you just, like, you know, do whatever you want with Crystal for a bit, figure out, like, where you want stuff, and, you know, if you want, like, if you want special lighting, we have got some lampshades. Well, Eenie picked out the lampshades. I think they're a little bit gaudy. Shut it! You don't know fashion from four! And those two are going to go off and have a little chat. And Miney's just going to roll his eyes and say, yeah, those two are going to have a bit of an argument over interior decorating, but we're just trying to get some stuff out from under here. So if you and Crystal want to decide where stuff is, we'll just be a second. Don't worry about it. And Miney's just going to continue trying and reaching out for stuff while Eenie and Mo have successfully distracted themselves from the task by arguing about interior design.
I like to think that the way this is animated is that there's like 4 sets of eyes, and like as the heads move around, like you can see Eenie, Miney, and Moo's eyes move. Nothing else.
Um,
And like T.O.Cs are just like sort of annoyed half lids with like great.
You can see their eyebrows.
Yeah, I was gonna
Perfect.
say you could see their hair because their hair is kind of distinguished. Like you see just like the outline, like a white outline around their hair. So you get like a white mohawk and then like two rounded bits that are feathers, and then just Mo's just a shaggy mess.
Oh
It's just like a scribble of a head.
God. They will put their head back out and go, I think they're fine. I'm not completely sure because I never am with these three, but I'm pretty sure they're not about to kill themselves.
As you say that, you hear a coming from under the sofa. Don't worry about that. It's fine.
There's a I think she is gonna say it. Yes, I suppose that would be too much to wish.
They T.O.C laughs and then sort of gives her a reproving laugh, or a reproving look, like that's funny, but also you shouldn't say it. Like,
Let me roll something while you're doing that.
like she doesn't mean it, but also, like, she definitely wouldn't want it to happen, but she's not above making jokes about it. So yeah, I do think she's like, you're right. That's that was not very nice. And
they like they pat her on the knee, which is about as high as they can get, and they go, "It's you're fine. Just play nice."
I'll try.
And they go, "It's," and they look around the wreck of the apartment, and they go, "I can toss them out, or we can help them undo this."
Okay.
As tempting as that is, no, I did say they could stay here. So I suppose, I mean, it's not a bad opportunity to fix things up a bit more. I've been doing bits and pieces, but uh, most of my time has been taken up with my study.
Mm.
I will say, while you two have been talking, I've made a few rolls, and I'm gonna make one more. Because you've probably both looked away from the sofa, where Eenie, Miney, and Mo have their heads disappeared under. If you look back, they're not there anymore. They've disappeared.
Oh, good.
And I've got to roll another thing. That +2 was for something else, by the way. This is a different thing. Oh, this is good. Okay. They have disappeared. But do you see the sofa start to judder a bit before stopping? And then judder again and then stopping. And you'll just hear like a muffled, "Hey, anybody out there? You need a bit of help. Whatever. I might be a bit stuck."
Waiting on.
For those of you listening, what's happened is Eenie, Miney, and Mo have thought, hey, you know what? The easy thing to do would be to actually get underneath the sofa and then lift it up and then move it, and then all the stuff would just be there, and then the sofa would also be able to be moved if Crystal wanted it. It's a win-win. They got under the sofa just fine. They rolled a strength, and it was an 8. So they are stuck under the sofa now.
God,
I don't know how Crystal is supposed to help, considering she has a -2
No.
in strength.
No.
T.O.C is a barbarian. They could, but first they have pulled a notebook.
Oh, Arthur! No! Arthur! What happened? You dogged out.
Discord, why? Ah,
Discord. You
doing
wasn't
this.
alone.
Okay. T.O.C has pulled out a notebook and a flashlight. Fuck you, Discord. And they will write something, and then they will stick the notebook underneath the sofa and shine the flashlight on it so that they can read it, and it says, "Are you sure you don't need help?"
Okay, give me a second. Let me see. I need to. Oh, another thing. No, ignore that. That was wrong. Cool. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
bless.
Okay. You shine the torchlight on your notebook and you slide it underneath, and the rattling from the sofa just stops, and then there's just silence, and you just hear a T.O.C, we can't read that. I don't mean to read anything. It looks a bit like chicken scratch. I can't understand what you're writing.
They look back at Crystal like, why? Why are they like this?
You get a I wish I knew expression back.
Okay, what would they need to roll to save this moron?
I mean, how do you want to go about it? What do you want to do?
They're gonna flip the sofa.
Roll strength.
Hmm.
It's a strength check. If you want to do anything to yourself to like give yourself advantage beforehand, absolutely. If there's a
I
specific
think
way you
that
want
they will pause and look at Candle. But shame box for me, my god. It's the
Shamebox,
same
Candle,
person.
Toonkind is real.
Jesus.
Um,
They will look at Crystal like it's. Are you good with me tossing your sofa around just a little bit?
Crystal at this point, that was a hammer space roll. She's pulled out a carjack.
Why does she have that?
I mean,
Why does she have that?
wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, I fucking would.
I mean, who doesn't?
Oh my gosh. Okay, you've got a carjack. What do you want to do?
Um, she's like, maybe leave the couch flipping till to after if this doesn't work.
Thumbs up.
I might need your help with lifting it though.
Mm.
And I don't know. Do I need to roll anything to get the carjack positioned underneath it and push it up?
I mean, that's up to you if you want. You can or you can't. It's up to you. I'm not gonna make you roll anything. Although if you did want to roll something, I would suggest probably sleight of hand so that it's aligned properly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll roll a sleight of hand then.
Yeah.
Actually, could T.O.C take the help action and like stand by to yank the bird out from underneath as soon as it's high enough?
Go ahead. Sorry, Kendall. What are you saying?
That's pretty average, but I think that's enough to work.
Yeah, it's not the best position. Because it's not a car and it doesn't have that little dent where car jacks are supposed to go. And also, you're using a car jack on a sofa. If you use a sofa jack, I might have given you advantage, but you used a car jack, so I kind of have to just go with this. So you pop it up, but it's like on just next to one of the legs and not like in the middle. So it's like a corner goes up just a bit. But it's not the optimal car jack raised sofa position. But Candle, not Candle, I'm so sorry, author,
Jamebox.
Chainbox me eternally. What did you want to do? You wanted to drag them out?
Basically, the idea was like maybe to give Candles advantage, but like also I could roll like athletics or whatever.
You can choose what you want to roll.
I mean their athletics is a +6.
Go for that.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god,
a
that's
net one. Could we say that the card deck flips and they get stuck underneath as well?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. And as it comes down on you with a dark thump, there's like a silence that rings around the apartment, and we flash back onto the sofa, and you just see the three outlines of Eenie Moneymo's head, and then you just see the outline of T.O.C's head. You just see all three heads slowly turn towards T.O.C. And they say, "Ah, welcome to the club, buddy.
By the way,
Okay,
outside you can hear, oh, for Crunkle's sake.
Yeah, all three of these heads turn towards you and say, "Well, welcome to the Under the Sofa Club. It's quite nice under here, actually. We've got nice, quiet kind of atmosphere going on. It's it's very very peaceful under here. You know, a good place to catch a quick nap. And also, you know, You know how you said before how you were, in fact, very strong and could probably kick our butts in a fight? Well, I think now would probably be about the time for you to prove it because I don't know about you, but this thing, and all three heads just poof poof up. It's kind of heavy.
Going
That
to
was
try
a
to flip
series
the
of rolls you
sofa.
just made, Candle.
Okay, that was another sleight of hand. It was another 11. So I'm like, I kind of got to do something else. So she pulled another carjack out of her hammer space, and now it's a 16.
Okay, cool. You pop them on each end of the leg and pump it up, and it's gonna be easy for us to get out now. And I know what the lads are gonna do probably. Um, they're gonna kind of look at T.O.C and go, so don't suppose you'd want to put that supposed strength of yours to use, seeing as you don't want to spar with us. Maybe you could just prove you can lift this up. Oh no.
Aw.
Oh wow, again? For the listening audience, that was another nat one. I
This,
believe for
this sure has been a game for rolls.
nat 20s and nat ones all around the house.
With just a smattering of 11s to spice things up. Oh my god. It
Please, author, describe
does
to
the
me how
carjack slip again?
I think
Oh.
maybe what happens is that one of you two bumps it and it slips again.
It's gonna be Eenie, Miny, and Mo. I'm saying it now. It's gonna be Eenie, Miny, Mo kind of kick out with one of their legs and bonks it by accident and thunk comes down.
God.
Gosh. Oh
You get
I
a I've got half a mind to leave you under there.
You, you hear a disgruntled, we're fine, we can get out ourselves. And let me just see, what can they do here? I need to check some of their abilities because they might actually be able
what
to
the
do so.
actual fuck?
Um,
That was a nat 20, folks!
oh, okay. I suppose, is it the irritants of having to be stuck under here with these three goading you that has done this? Is it the rage? Is it the barbaric rage of being implied that you are not hot sauce? You cannot lift this thing? You are a barbarian. You are a barbarian and you are strong and you're going to show these three-headed morons that you can lift if you want.
Wait, I've got it. They just like. I think that's enough of that. And they just like stand up with it like over their little head.
Oh my
And
god.
then as.
I realize
But
now
wait,
the reason why you kept getting nat ones was because the carjack was making it too tall for you to actually reach.
perfect.
Beautiful.
But wait, as soon as Eenie, Miney, and Mo like go to like get out of it, they like lower it back down and then lower it back up. Like first of all, not only can they lift the couch, they can bench press it, but also whippersnappers.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah,
I'm gonna.
they will just sort of like stand up and walk the couch, over to another part of the cleared floor.
Okay, I'm gonna roll something quickly. Okay, that wasn't okay. You can both roll insight if you'd like on this. As you stand up from one.
24.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Okay. You both get it. Man, Crystal, you just about get this because you're probably distracted by this chicken just lifting your sofa with their head alone, apparently, with no issue. Huh. But you do catch Eenie, Miney, and Mo looking at this chicken like, wow. Okay, that's that's pretty that's pretty impressive. T.O.C, you definitely catch that because this isn't the first time you've kind of tricked them out, as it were. You may have even spotted this expression on their face before when you know when you kind of tied them up on a roundabout. Because yeah, that sure was a thing that happened. If you don't know about that, I don't remember the name of the FPS, but go listen to it. It's a good one.
It was less collateral damage.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one. But yeah, they are just kind of T.O.C clearly sees them just looking at them like, ah, that's impressive. But they do quickly kind of shake their heads and like, right, okay, you've proved your point. You're a very strong little chicken there. You know, obviously, you managed to eventually lift the thing up. It's very impressive. Well done. And well, you know, it's there's no shame in having to struggle the first few times. Sometimes it takes a couple of second wins before you can actually, you know, get up there and give it a good push.
They put the couch back on Eenie, Miney, and Mo.
I was hoping you'd do that. And I will say, you know what? No, I'm not even going to roll for this. I want this to happen. As you do this, you just kind of hear them keep talking. You know, it was, you know, you could do a bit more with a bit of strength training. We could definitely help you out with that. Yeah, you know, it's I mean, you are pretty strong already, but it's just, you know, you could do with a bit more, a little bit maybe. And as they're talking, you just see them very slowly crouching down as this thing goes above their head. And they don't even notice. They're just unconsciously lowering themselves to the ground. And then their heads are flat on the floor as you just poof, put this sofa back over them. And I'm going to roll a perception to see how long it takes them to notice.
Wait, can I make a... And I'm so sorry, Kendall. I know that we're talking a lot, but
No, this is
can
great.
I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's
Please do.
a fun fact about birds is that if you just sort of like gently like cup your hand over their eyes so that like it's darker, they will go to sleep because it's nighttime.
Okay. I'm gonna roll a whiz save then. 14. So they probably don't fall asleep, but they do get a little quieter until you can't hear anything but like mumblings coming from under the sofa. You don't know what they're doing, but they're not asleep. They're just like there's just kind of like sleepy mumblings going on.
By the way,
Yeah.
T.O.C can roll an insight on Crystal if they want.
Absolutely.
Oh,
23.
Yeah. She is utterly delighted by this. Like, she's not like, okay. She is doing a little bit around the apartment. I think like more for show, like to oh yes, I am helping sort of thing. But she's like also doing it as a bit of an excuse to not get involved in that because she is having way too much fun with the fact that you keep one-upping them.
It's a
like
good thing
they
to
just
see.
sort of God. They will eventually take the sofa off the boys and like let them up because they're not going to leave them underneath. That's cruel. But they are just like, okay, they've settled down just a little bit. That's something.
I mean, if you want, you can both roll me a perception while when you lift up the sofa to see if you can hear what they're mumbling because they are still. It takes them like a couple of seconds before 50. Okay.
By the way, I just also want to add because I really love the idea of it. It's the same sort of expression she has on her face as a sibling whose other sibling is getting in whose other annoying sibling is getting in trouble by a parent.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I know and am familiar with that face. Right, 50. Yeah, no, you're too busy enjoying yourself to notice this.
Yep.
But yeah, also you come over and you sit over the sofa and you just kind of just hear like a. I mean, you know, we do still need to get them out a little bit more. This will only do so much. Well, yes, but of course the first thing we need to do is fix the place up first, and then we can actually progress to the actual trading part. We can't give everything away yet. Yeah, of course. I mean, we need to make sure that everything's all spick-span and everything like that. Just like quiet little mutterings like that. Before they look at you and say, "Ow, oh right, okay, right again. I suppose we're coming out then." And I'm just gonna roll a acrobatics to see how well they get out. That's a nat 1. I am. Okay.
They hit their heads on the top of the couch on the way around.
I was gonna say they either hit their heads or they just, as they try to make their way out, they accidentally knock T.O.C aside and they just poof, get it knocked back down on themselves again. If that's the case, I'm gonna roll something. You're just gonna hear like a little silence. Actually, you know what? Author, if they do get knocked over, if you're okay with T.O.C just kind of accidentally getting bonked and then dropping this thing, did you want to give a T.O.C reaction to that?
I mean, yeah, actually, I think that, like, they're doing their best to stay out of their way. It's just that this bird is so fucking gangly. And, like, they just get accidentally this, like, soccer ball kick, like a... And, like, maybe there's a little... Maybe
Sorry,
there's, like... What?
I just had the mental image of them accidentally moving one of their feet forward and they're just like. It's so horrifying.
And they go, like, rolling across the room and, like, at the opposite end of the living room, some of the stuff is sort of in, like, a soccer ball or a football net shape. And, like,
Yes.
they land smack in the middle, and then, like, a couple things, like, fall on them, and they're just like, great.
I think Crystal will come over to T.O.C to see if they're alright before, like, fairly quietly, but obviously in gesture. I think we should just leave them under there.
Okay. Whilst you're doing that, you are going to hear a little come from under the sofa, and you are just going to see the sofa very slowly stand up into the air as Eenie, Miney, and Mo have lifted their three heads up from underneath the sofa. They are now the ones holding the sofa with a 15. And I'm just gonna say they do this because otherwise we're gonna be here forever. They just kind of step their feet and body out first, so it's only their heads underneath the sofa and their necks are bent in like a U, and they just very slowly lower it down until you don't see their heads anymore, and then their heads come out from underneath the sofa, and they just go, ah, right, okay, that was a whole ordeal. And they turn to you, and their faces are just covered in dust. There's just dust all over their body. They are no longer brown. They are a dusty light grey. They look like they have run through a volcano.
That's alright.
I'm gonna roll
Crystal
this
has
save.
prestidigitation. I think she will use it on them.
Okay, cool. That'll be an idea. I rolled a whiz save. They got 19. It's fine. They don't shake the dust all over the apartment.
Yeah, like, T.O.C will, like, usher one of the heads down so that they can preen the dust out, like... And if Crystal would be so good to translate, they'll go, there you go, you got it eventually. There's no shame in taking a couple tries. You know, even with a little bit of training here and there.
I am
She
loving the
delightedly
sass.
translates.
I'm loving the sass of this chicken author. I love them so much. I'm gonna roll another thing because, of course they are gonna. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Yeah, that shrinks out. You see Eenie and Miney's eyes just kind of twitch as they look at you, T.O.C. And you're gonna see Mo just. You know it's Mo because you don't think Eenie and Miney are gonna do this, but you see one of their feet just kind of lift off the ground and scuff the ground a little bit. Like, you know how kids toe the ground when they're like they bend their knee and just toe the ground with their little toes, like RG or Golly. Yeah, they do that with one of their claws.
Mm.
But they are just gonna like shake their heads and be like, right, okay, enough of that. We'll leave that for another day. You know what? Let's sort out the rest of this stuff first. We spent far too long underneath there to actually get anything done. So, Eenie, do you want to go and get? Oh yes, I'm on it. And they go back to the kitchen. Hear like a rattle, a clash, a bang, a boom, a whiz, and they come back out. With three pizza boxes and another cardboard box of a sort and they just plonk them on the floor and say, right, if there's anything you want to decorate the place with, just rummage in there. They point at it. It's kind of like a hemi-space. It's sort of like a hemi-space. It's more like you can just reach in, and if you want the thing, it will give you the thing. We don't actually know exactly how it works. The wizard wouldn't exactly tell us. Well, they wouldn't tell us because this was a secondary sort of payment thing. It was an alternative payment sort of thing. Yeah, it's not nice when you take a job on and the guy refuses to pay you afterwards. Yeah, it's a bit of a backhand, that one. So we decided that as adventurers, we deserve rewards. And they weren't using the box anyway. So have at it. And they just gesture at the box. And they also dive all three of their heads in. One of them comes out with a lampshade, the other comes out with a paintbrush, and another one comes out with you know what? Let me roll a D3, see what they come out with. Okay. Alright. They pull their head out, and they've got like a weird set of tweezers. Like they're tweezers, but they're large. And then they just make their way around the apartment.
T.O.C makes a mental note to figure out which wizard that was that did not want to pay their boy.
Yeah, I think Crystal is I'm not unpacking that.
Valid. Just Crystal, whenever she looks at Eenie, Miney, and Mo, I am not unpacking whatever your deal is. I'm not ready. I don't think I'll ever be ready.
She has the social she does not have very good social skills. What makes you think she's prepared for this?
They know this and they love her anyway, so but yeah, it's up to you two if you want to help like decorate and stuff, or if you're just gonna leave Eenie, Miney, and Mo to it. You can just slip away and have your conversation.
I was wondering whether we wanted like a I guess montage of like cleaning up the apartment.
I can do.
Yeah. I will say that like T.O.C will look around at the vast quantity of shit that's around, and they will pull a book. They will cross to the box, and they will pull a bookshelf out, and pull a bookshelf out, and pull a bookshelf out, and pull a bookshelf out. Like just like for storage, because holy shit.
Yeah, I think maybe I think Crystal clues into what you're doing, and I think she will pull out various other sorts of like storage stuff, like boxes of different sizes and things that go like drawers and things that go in drawers to separate them and stuff like that. So and a labeling system.
Nice.
That she probably pulls out of her own hammer space though.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, there is. I will say there's obviously like there's the corner of like magical artifacts that has some weird stuff in it. Some they're all definitely magical. Because Crystal went through them, and yeah, no, they're all that. That's the magic corner. You haven't had time to really sort through it because you've had other stuff to do, but that is the magic corner. And then there is also another corner in here that is just Eenie, Miney, and Mo's nest. Which is just a bunch of like blankets and stuff. And I mean, T.O.C can roll like an investigation or a perception if they want to see if they notice anything about this. I think Crystal already knows, so they don't have to.
Yeah.
Cool. 16. Yeah, no, 26, sorry. Yeah, you definitely see not everything in there is like duvets and pillows and blankets and stuff. There's like towels, there's like bathrobes, there are like miscellaneous scraps of cloth from here and there. There are also dresses, like shirts, a couple of like trousers and like skirts and things that definitely do not fit Eenie, Miney, and Mo. And you probably look back at Crystal and then look back at the clothes that are making up this thing. You're like, they do look like things that perhaps A, would fit Crystal, or B, Crystal might wear.
Sorry, my cat in the background. I think that like when they get to the nest, they will hold up things like, is this yours? Okay, it's going in the pile. Is this also yours? Okay, it's going in the pile. And like just sort of sift through shit and like so that she can have more than one outfit, apparently.
Oh, you're going to touch the nest?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Give me a second. Oh, okay. They don't notice it immediately, but when they do, I'm gonna roll something again. What's your score in that?
At this point, I think I will say Crystal has she's said I'm tackling the magic stuff because I am the most qualified to do that, and she's very carefully going through and like sort of checking what everything does before moving it to where she thinks it's going to be safest.
Fair enough. That is valid, and I pet her. T.O.C. They don't notice it immediately. You've probably got like half of the clothes pulled out before they notice. From where they are, from like they probably like poke their heads around the corner, or like very quickly stop to have like a few slices of pizza, or Eenie, stop eating it all, man. We know it goes to the same stomach, but we want to try and taste stuff too. Yeah, Eenie, just because you like to eat doesn't mean you get to be the only one to eat. Well, yes, but I can absorb and respect the flavors a bit more than you two can. Hey, what do you think you're doing? And they turn towards you, T.O.C, and they look. They stand up, and they start to like prowl towards you. Their heads like lowered to your eye level as they just very slowly come towards you.
They stand their ground. Like, yeah. They can't sign anything to them, and I don't think they're going to pull their notebook head out because they if they need to get out the pitchfork, they would rather have their wings open, but they're just like, what?
They squint, or Eenie and Miney squint, and Mo is just silently looking in your direction. And they just very quietly say, so that Crystal can't hear, don't take those out. Put them back in. Yeah, we don't take those out. They need to stay in there.
Oh my god, my cat! You ate food. I'm so sorry.
Good, author.
Can they? Okay. For an insight, what did they get with a 26?
You know that it is very important to them that the things that were in there that you took out stay where they are. And also with the 26, you will also probably know as a fellow bird that nesting can be kind of an incredibly personal thing. And that some birds take great pride in A, not only making their nest, but B, how they present their nest and making it incredibly comfy for them. And you think, maybe it would be a great idea to take these things out of where they were.
They will, like, I think that they, like, pause with, like, a sweater in their wings, and they will drop the sweater, and they will climb out of the nest, like, possibly, like, around, Eenie, Miney, and Mo, and, like, sit on the ground next to it and, like, gesture for them to sit, too. And they will pull, hang on. They will pull the notebook out and just write, okay, talk to me. I can see that this bothers you.
I just want to add for a little bit of context. Crystal didn't want to try and like when she knew her clothes are in there. She's like, I really don't want to like figure out why, like unpack that. So she just went and bought herself new clothes.
Look, anything that's got to do with Eenie, Miney, and Mo's behaviour, Crystal was just like, I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know. You can stay here, but I don't wanna know.
Yeah, with the caveat of please stop taking my stuff.
I will say they haven't taken anything new of yours that you know of.
Fair enough.
But yeah, they're gonna look at you, and then they're gonna look at their nest, and they're gonna like reach around you or to wherever you've put the pile of stuff, and Miney and Eenie are gonna like pick up all the items, and they are going to pay attention to the nest, and they're just gonna start like refolding things up with their beaks and like tucking them in. Actually, I'm gonna roll stealth here. How well are you doing this, lads? Oh, that's almost a nat 20. They are very, very sneakily doing this. So Crystal doesn't notice.
Oh no, Crystal is completely oblivious to all of this right now. I'm just gonna say it.
She's got in that like cataloging headspace where she's like, okay, this goes there, but no, this can't go there. No, this needs to go here. So this is all in this category. No, this is in this category, sort of thing.
Yep.
Nice.
And yeah, it's gonna be Mo who's gonna be doing the talking here. So Mo's gonna sit down and look at you, T.O.C, and says, "Right, you wanted to talk. What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about?"
They go. Did they pause because this is delicate, and they're not a delicate person, and they go, I assume that those were crystals. Are they not?
Yeah.
They look at the nest, they look back at them. Did you ask before you took them?
That needs to be plus a 3 to that, so that is 17. I was just gonna look down and say, he said we could stay and that we could help ourselves to anything. Then, you know, it wasn't her research. He asked that we don't touch that, and we didn't touch that. So.
T.O.C is going to think this over because pretty sure that the clothes were one of those unspoken things, but also this is Eenie, Miney, and Mo, and they need to speak their language, not most people's language.
Insight from Mo. Never mind. Don't worry, continue on.
I mean, they can also roll a history if they want about chickens.
Speed. Okay. Is that? Oh, that's a nat 20. What the hell, guys?
All right, and nat 20.
Apparently.
Well, it is bird shit. So like, all right, but they it might occur to Eenie, Miney, or Ormo that chickens don't like they get broody from time to time. They nest then, but most of the time they roost. And T.O.C is obviously not laying eggs regularly, so they have no reason to get broody. So this was perhaps something that they didn't know about. And I think that they consider, and they go through their hammer space and they pull out they pull out a couple blankets, one of which looks familiar. And then they pause and they very visibly hesitate. And then they pull out a yellow and gold animus sweater vest that looks handmade. And they set it all neatly in a pile in front of them, very formally, and they go, I apologize for touching your space. I will do better.
Okay. Eenie and Miney are still very focused on putting everything back where it was, and you will kind of hear quiet mutterings of, That's not supposed to go there. That wasn't there before. How do you know? How do you remember where it goes to do it? It didn't go there. It was here in this spot. This is where it was. No, that's not the right size. You need to put it here. And they're just kind of like having a bit of a bicker. And Mo's looking down at what you've put before them, and they just sit and look at them for a bit before their beak slowly turns towards you and alright, so you don't understand what this thing's about, and you think this might be like completely a bird thing, but it's not. And he shuffles their body a little bit. It's not completely a bird thing. It's a bit of a bird thing, but it's also kind of a guild thing. He very quickly points his beak towards Eenie, Miney, Mo before looking back, just to check to make sure they're still occupied. It's and he lowers his voice. It's from when we came from our first guild. There's people there like had beds and stuff, and there were all different shapes and sizes of people who were there. You know, it was a prosperous place. It was great. It was pretty good and big, and they had to kind of accommodate a lot of different sizes and shapes of people that the rangers that worked there. And we tried a bed, didn't work out. We tried all sorts of different things, and we found that this was the most comfiest thing for us to make. And it's kind of like Mo just kind of sits and thinks for a bit. It's like bunk beds and stuff. But it's like you ever shared a room with someone?
They nod wryly because that is the only way they can sleep is if they're these days if they're next to Juniper. I think they signed. Yes, I share a bed with Juniper.
And Mo nods back and says, "Yeah, so it's not like sharing that much space with someone, but it's like if you're in a room with like 2-3 other people, you can kind of get like a lot, and it's good that you all have kind of like your own little bubble, like your own, like this is my bunk. When I'm on my bunk, this is my bunk. You don't go near my bunk, sort of thing. So if there are things on that bunk, or underneath that bunk, or underneath the pillow on that bunk, or in the nest for us at least." He gestures again at the nest, where Miney and Eenie are still kind of seem to have come to agreement on one of the scraps of skirt fabric that they found, and have just re-poked that into the place it was supposed to be. It's important to build your space how you want it to be, and each different bed and bunk is personalised in a way. And we didn't really have a bed like most people did. Not everyone had a bed either, to be fair. But we had our nest, and we had a few other people nearby who either slept in like divots in the floor or something like that. Some people liked living in ashes. Some people like living in like water bowls, like ponds and stuff, and each had their own little ways to decorate it. There was always like personal stuff in there, and it's you don't poke around other people's bunks. It's kind of a big no-no. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
They bow their head very low, and they write, "Thank you for explaining. I will do better." And they pause, and because that was a lot and that was very personal. I think that they offer was not like that with me and my sisters. We used to literally toss each other off the roofs. But I will understand.
Yeah. It's just don't do it again, I guess, because I mean, there's three of us as well is the thing. So it's not like we have personal space from each other. So building a nest is tough enough as it is when there's three of you trying to build the damn thing. And you just hear us, no, Eenie, it's supposed to go over here. No, it's supposed to go there. And you just like, as something rips and like, you ripped it, you stupid sod. No, you're the one that ripped it, you silly. And they're just like, dunk, 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 dunk. You hear dunk, dunk, dunk noises coming from the nest now. As Eenie and Miney start to bonk each other on the heads with their beaks. And Mo turns back to you and says, it's difficult enough trying to build a nest when three of us can't agree on how to build the dang thing. So, yeah, oh, and, you don't have to, and he just pokes his beak underneath, like, the blankets and the sweater and pushes it back to you and says, you don't have to, like, have this stuff in there, don't worry about it, you know, it's alright, it's fine, we got our stuff, you know, it's all good, everything that's there is supposed to be there, you know, if you wanted something to add to it, we, you know, probably take it, you know. And Eenie and Miney just pop back up and look at you and say, it seemed to be done with whatever the hell they've done with the nest. You don't actually notice it looks any different. Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't, but it's just a mess of a nest, honestly. They just look back at you and say, yeah, you know, if we wanted anything, we'd just, well, we'd either ask or we'd, oh, wouldn't just take it. No. Well, I mean, yeah, we'd have to ask first. I mean, Crystal gave us permission to, you know, use whatever we like, so long as it wasn't our research. So obviously that meant the clothes. So we, you know, and gestures at the clothes, you know, we spruced it up a little bit with home furnishings, sort of thing. So, you know, you don't have to offer that. It's fine. It's, you know, and you just see like a whole body kind of shrug go through them.
Hang on. Baby, no, it's emotions time. Ah.
Tell your cat I love them. Also, cat, I dove this off into a different route. I swear I'm done soon.
Sorry, I didn't hear half of that because there was a massive clatter on Arthur's end.
Oh. I was just saying, I'm sorry I derailed this whole thing.
It's fine.
You're good. There's no one on after us, and also we're not in nuts and bolts, so like people will just go there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's valid. Okay.
Yeah. I think that I mean T.O.C, you know, they're not too proud to know, like, it's, if they want, like they said, if they wanted what they've offered, they would have taken it. And also they really love all the sweaters that Juniper has made them, and that was actually they can roll insight on like how serious that was.
I can ask my boys to roll insight and they will give you a 4. They will give you a whole 4.
I think that they have advantage by now.
Okay. Give you a 5. They give you a whole 5.
Alright, I mean, you know, silver lining is they don't see the naked relief as they tuck the sweater back in their hammer space. I think they do leave a couple of the blankets just in case, you know, they can go back and grab them later if they decide, but they are very soft and fluffy.
Cool. What is one of the blankets the one from our past FPS, or did you take that one? Or is these just like random blankets?
The one that they helped mend, or that they mended actually, that one is also pretty precious to them, so they will they'll grab that one and like take it up and just take a second to like feel it in their hands, just like, yeah.
Okay. All
Like
right.
it's they like this was like, oh, I actually fucked up. Time to demonstrate that I am actually sorry.
Okay.
But they didn't get that, so
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. I would say at this point is probably where Crystal is done organizing everything. Once this little heart to heart is done,
Yeah.
Money Mo just kind of nod and say, "Right, okay, enough of that. Let's actually get back to decorating stuff now that you've, no touchy." And they just stand up, with an aplomb, turn on their foot, and just do wander away.
Yeah.
Motion's time is done.
If you do
Wait,
come up, oh, keep going.
What is that for?
wait, I'm so sorry, Candles. This is supposed to be a crystal centric FPS,
No,
but
this is
we just keep
good.
talking. But before they like turn on their heel, like T.O.C will like uh motion for them to bend down to their level again. It's up to them whether they do or not.
Um, they'll kind of turn all three of their heads to look at each other before very slowly bending back down.
Mm. And they like preen the feathers on Enie's head, Miney's head, and Mo's head.
Cool. Give me a second. Oh, that's good. Yeah, they just sit there and they just like let you do that. I can't believe you rolled that 20 on this. Boys, please. So they do that, and then they kind of look at each other, and then they very gently, one by one in turn, like Eenie, Miney, and Mo, just kind of like donk, donk, donk. You very gently on the heads, like the underside of their beak each. Um, and you'd have to roll an insight on this. This is kind of just like a we're good kind of thing,
Mm.
like a
Yes,
bird to
good.
bird. Yes, we're good.
Bird
We're
to bird
fine.
communication.
That's a bird communication. That could be a different FPS. Um, but yeah, they just kind of look at you and nod their heads and say, "Right, okay, that's enough schmoopiness. Yeah, we've got things to do. We got distracted by making our own thing. We're supposed to be decorating the house, not our thing. Did tell you we should have probably just it ourselves instead of getting distracted by. Well, this is why we didn't want to do it ourselves. We get distracted doing our own thing, and they just kind of wander off and start rummaging through the boxes. One of them comes out with a lampshade on their head, another lampshade. You don't know where the first one went. Don't worry about that. And then they pull out like another paintbrush, and then they pull out a lint roller kind of thing, and they just patter about the room with a whistle like do 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 do. Um,
Yeah, T.O.C looks around like, where the fuck is Crystal?
If if you wander up to Crystal, she has been completely oblivious to the two of you this entire time, and she'll be like, "Right, I got through a lot of the stuff. I've been going by ranking of potency and dangerousness, and then by category, and then by alphabetization, and and she will just like she is actually happily nattering about like everything that she's labeled, and this is what the color codes mean, and then I've used the Dewey Decimal System to be able to find things, and
God, I love her so
God.
much. Oh gosh, I will say Eenie, Money, and Mo just look at this thing, and as Crystal is starting to explain, you firstly see Miney's eyes just very slowly cross, and then you'll see Enie's eyes just very slowly start to whirl in their sockets before they're dizzy. You get nothing from Mo because you can't see Mo's eyes. You do just get the impression that there's just uh nothing going on up there, just da 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 na 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 da as you explain.
TFC,
Oh,
who lives with Juniper, is just like just settling in to listen to a smart person talk about something that they probably don't understand.
Magic has
Like,
suggested that they are gently swaying side to side like they're listening to an invisible tune. Yes, I'm taking that. They are just slowly bobbing in place, up and down, and Mo seems to be getting into whatever the hell's playing in his head.
but
God,
yeah, she looks probably more excited than you've ever sort of seen her.
I mean, they're happy she's excited, but also they have just tuned the ever loving heck out.
God. T.O.C, like, they will, like, again, they're not even trying, they're just enjoying seeing her happy. And like, like, maybe 10, 15 minutes into the explanation, like, they will, like, just sort of reach over and, like, elbow their legs, like, come on.
Right.
Like,
Sorry. Right.
no, not her. Eenie, Miney, and Mo. She's
Oh,
fine. She's
okay,
wonderful.
okay. So they're just gonna
Oh,
leave her going?
Yeah. They want to hear about the Dewey Dangerous Things system.
Yep.
Dewey Dangerous Things system. Which, to be fair, if it's for the magical instruments, might actually be accurate. Dewey Dangerous Things system specifically for these magical artifacts.
Yeah, like she's like, this is the magical section over here, and this is the non-magical section here, and as you can see, I've tried to make it a lot harder to get into this section because magic is, you know, you just don't want that anything to happen with that. But then the categories and going by like, you know, clothing, objects, miscellaneous, uh most likely places around Inkwell it came from, era that it came from. It's just like she would just go on.
Mm.
Love her so
Man,
much.
I just thought of something. I don't want to put more lore in this. We've already gotten so sidetracked, but make an insight on chicken.
Okay.
Anyone who
Also,
would like to.
I
Okay,
let's just pump this thing full of lore. This bad boy can fit
that's,
so much lore in it.
that's what I
Uh,
thought.
dude, that's in the gallery.
Oops.
And again, actually, both of you have advantage.
Okay,
Cool.
let's give it a go. And then teen. Okay, lads.
14.
How did you get more than Crystal, guys? How?
Because she's
How?
too busy explaining her system.
Mm. It, I mean, with a 14, Crystal can probably tell that like they're genuinely like enjoying like listening to her. Um, with a 15, like you can't get too much more than that, but there's sort of something sort of nostalgic, almost like Crystal is reminding them of someone very dear to them.
Uh,
Aw.
Author. Oh, Author. I know what that is. They have no idea.
I'm pretty sure I know
I
what this is as well.
Uh,
I mean, there's two people it reminds them of, but they didn't get high enough to get either of those. Also, I don't know if you have this lore, you two.
Um,
I have pieced it together a little bit. I've been listening to some of your stuff. But Eenie,
Oh
Money Mo would
boy.
have no clue.
yeah,
They would not know.
yeah, this is things that I'm theorizing based on what I've listened to of yours.
Ominous. Okay. That's something for the after game, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm. But yeah, they're like, if they're not going to be the one to snap out of the sneak sequence. Like they're good. They're comfy.
I have an idea. Oh, I have an idea. Give me a second. If you've nudged them in the knee, snapped them out of it, and they're seeing Crystal is still going on, and as much as they love that Crystal is enjoying themselves in their explanation, they realise you guys haven't touched the pizza yet. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna yeah, let's do it this way. Okay. They head over to the table. Either of you notice, because you, like, you know, T.O.C is busy looking at them, looking at Crystal incredibly fondly. They reach into the pizza boxes. They take out two slices of pizza, one in each mouth of Mo and Eenie, and they come over and they just kind of shove a slice of pizza into to each of your faces.
Cue some like angry sort of spluttering and.
But they don't shove it like in your faces, they hover it before your face, like each.
Okay. Okay.
No, they wouldn't shove it in your face. Even they aren't that foolish.
I think. Oh, okay. I gotta roll a perception for this. Sorry.
It's okay.
T.O.C is going to they're just going to look at Eenie, Miney, and Mo and go, "You're holding this in your mouth as we speak."
I'm gonna say it's Eenie that's looking at you, and he just raises a brow at you like, yes, so. And Mo is just, with a 19, yeah, you smell that cheesy goodness. Smell that cheesy goodness.
She sort of like blinks and is like, "There is a pizza in front of my face. Why is there a pizza in front of my face?" And it's just like, what? Like she obviously knows that you're holding it out to her, but it's just like a, why?
Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh god. I just
What's that
remembered who was
text?
holding a slice of pizza. I'm so sorry. They hold it out to you. And before you can do anything, T.O.C, you just see Enie's eyes go a little wider, and then you just hear a as it just slides between his beak with a gulp. He's just gonna ate. Hey, come on, you already hit a whole pizza. I can't believe you ate T.O.C slice. You ate T.O.C slice. What an absolute, you can't do that. What was I supposed to do? You gave me a slice and you put it in my mouth. You're practically begging for me to actually eat it. You know what, T.O.C, you know what? I'm gonna go eat this slice. You know what?
They're like, no, 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 no. I will get my own pizza. Please, I am not a hatchling. If you feed me something from your mouth like a mama bird, I will feed it right back.
Eenie perks up at this, just like, see, clearly they didn't actually want the pizza, now did they? They said they didn't want it. They said, if I tried to feed them, then they just give it back. Therefore, it's my pizza, and I ate it because it's mine. And Eenie is very happy with their reasoning.
I think Chris is like, right, food break. Well, the table's at least more free now.
T.O.C is going to go find some plates because they're not a hooligan who carries food in their mouth and expects other people to eat it.
Look, when you're a ranger that usually is in the wilderness, they are not used to urban living. Plates, forks, knives, and such are foreign to them. Or at least they have never had a use for them before. Why use that when you can just eat it on a stick if you have to? Like, or just use your mouth. Pizza is designed for like hands and mouth only. You don't need utensils for pizza.
I mean, plates are
I
still
think
nice.
like T.O.C's version of etiquette training is like, this is a fork. It is like a weapon that you use on food.
They're not gonna argue
This is a knife. It's like a knife that you use on food.
They're not even gonna like acknowledge this. They are just going to ignore that. They're just gonna point blank ignore that.
God.
Okay, I want to say, I think Crystal sort of calls out, like, let me know if you need any help finding everything, and is then gonna, like, make sure that, like, she's the one holding the pizza boxes so that Eenie doesn't eat anything more before T.O.C and Crystal manage to get
That is
anything.
wise. I will say for this pizza break, we've been going for almost 2 hours. Did we want to take an actual break?
Actually, yes, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like that idea.
Yeah. Let's pause the recording then. I'm just gonna pause mine now. There we go. Okay. We took a quick break for people listening. We are now back because we went on for quite a bit. But yeah, we're back now. I guess it's safe to say that the pizza part has just gone by. Like, unless you wanted to do actual bits with the pizza, you can do. But I was just, I don't know. I feel like they just sat down and had a pizza.
I don't know. I like, this is also up to author. But I thought like pizza break might not be the worst time for T.O.C to bring up what they wanted to talk to Crystal about earlier.
Yeah, makes sense. Like takes them a little bit to like navigate eating the pizza because they've never had that before. Like it's and like watching Eenie Miney Mo is unhelpful because they just like swallow it. Um,
Pretty much. I mean, don't look at Eenie. You look at Eenie, and it's kind of like you just have to look away because, God, no, that is not natural. People do not eat like that. That is not normal. You do not eat like that. And you look at Miney and Mo, and it's a bit better. They're slightly, probably a little messy eaters, but I mean, there's not Eenie, which is just like a cacophony of snarfling noises coming from over there. You just don't want to look. Really don't want to look.
uh, instead they will look at cheats. Okay.
Here, hold on a sec. I can help with this. Oh
Okay.
god, I always forget username. Let me change my username. God, I completely mind blanked on how to change my username.
Oh, it's you go to edit server profile.
Ah, okay, yep. Found it.
Yeah. E. All right, magic votes you change it to make it worse for me.
Oh. Mhm.
God,
I can't do that.
thank you,
Yes, please name
candles.
yourself me, and I'll change it. I'll change. I'll change my name too. Cool. Let's all call
It's a
ourselves author. We'll all be author for the day.
Actually, that'd be
we're
so
not
funny.
having an apocalypse.
Author apocalypse.
Anyway, we can. I think we should get back. As funny as that
We're
sounds, we
getting
should get back into it.
getting a little author topic. That was an awful pun.
That was
It sounded better in my head. I'm so sorry.
that was an
I'll shut up
awful
now.
God,
pun.
I'm just sitting here. And,
Love you.
y'all let me know when you're ready to do character stuff, I guess.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll
You're
shut up. Go
wonderful.
off.
I gently pet both of you. God, alright. Who was I playing again?
T.O.C.
Thank you. T.O.C. T.O.C. will turn to Crystal and they go, oh, there was actually a reason that I came here today.
Ah, yes, of course. What was it that you wanted to talk about? And
Hmm.
I hope you don't mind. Well, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, they no, I'm not going to make them roll for this. They're like you can see them like trying very hard to be gentle and delicate, which is two things that they're not great at being. Um, when as they sign, I met an individual the other day who was familiar. She, do you know a girl named Cassie?
Oh, okay. Give me a moment. Okay. She does not drop the pizza slice that she was picking up, but it does plonk onto her plate rather forcefully.
Mm.
And yeah, she sort of like looked like sharply at you like but I don't think she currently has words right now. So she's yeah, she's not like yeah, she's not answering you.
They they very knowingly just and they set their pizza down so that they aren't signing this very emotionally charged issue with a piece of pizza in their hand.
Fair.
They signed. I met her over Animus. I was taking my daughter Marigold to a show, and we met God. It was fine. And she was another theater goer that we became connected to.
She's in Toontown?
They nod.
Right, okay. Um, yes, I do know her.
They very gently sign. Your little sister misses you, Crystal.
Yeah. Okay. I I didn't know. I, I'm gonna roll. Oh yeah, okay, that was a whiz save. She's uh she's not yeah, there's a lot of emotions going across her face. And she's not particularly holding herself well together. But
Mm.
she also is not great with like she just isn't finding words very well.
Would it be okay if I rolled a quick insight?
Go for it.
Wow. Okay. All right. 7.
She's
Okay.
upset.
All right. I'm gonna roll with what I rolled earlier. I rolled another thing earlier, and that was for like stealth. But in this particular case, it's not gonna be to like get away. It's gonna be to like very quietly, so they don't disturb what's going on. Just slip behind where Crystal is sitting, and just sit behind her. And then they're gonna just like put their heads on the ground underneath the table, so they're just not noticed.
Oh.
Mm.
I'm sorry, Crystal is not paying attention to them right now, so like
That's
T.O.C can potentially try and contest that
I mean,
stealth,
that's kind
but
of the point. They rolled a 22 for their stealth. They don't want to interrupt this right now, but they see you're upset and they're not just gonna sit there.
Yeah, it T.O.C is M is not the one who needs their attention right now. Let's say that.
Yeah.
I think that they move so that they are directly in front of Crystal, and they sign, "Crystal, look at me. Can you tell me what color my feathers are? Can you tell me what color Eenie, Miney, and Moe's feathers are? Can you tell me what color your curtains are?" Like just little they're going to ask very simple questions about what's around the two of them to sort of get her grounded.
mm, mm. And she goes, uh, your feathers are black or a very dark shade. Eenie, Miney, and Mo's feathers are brown. My curtains are blue. Yeah, I will roll another with save. I think maybe at advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think that advantage is needed.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she'll wipe out her eyes, replace her glasses. Sorry. Uh, I'm sorry. Didn't didn't mean to. Uh, last time I saw Cassie, things didn't go well.
I think T.O.C. finds siblings are complicated.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. It's my fault. I
Tell me.
I shouldn't have said. I was I was scared. Is did she did she look okay?
T.O.C. is going to think about it. Like, they could say just yes. Because, like, in herself, Cassie looked okay. But they're thinking more along the lines of, like, in terms of general well-being. Could they roll an insight on that?
Like, are you on what Cassie looked like, or what Crystal is hoping for, or what is the insight for?
Probably what she's looking for. Like, what particulars they can. Yeah. 23.
Yeah, there is definitely a like a sort of searching like physically okay. Was there anything off about her? You know, that sort of thing. Anything unusual?
Hmm. I mean, was there anything unusual about Cassie? They don't have a point of reference, but.
She seemed fine when you met her. She like obviously you don't have a reference point, but there wasn't anything obviously wrong with her. Like, she looked like she'd been getting enough sleep and food and wasn't injured or sick, or and was, pretty happy as well, other than, when you brought up her sister.
Hmm. Sign. She seemed happy. She. She's very much like you.
Ah, well, I that's good. I we She wanted to go adventuring. I didn't want her to. And we had a fight about it. And there is, I think, rolling off of that insight author, there is a little bit more to it than that. She's not saying everything. You get the impression that there is maybe something said during the fight that Crystal feels really bad about but doesn't quite want to admit.
Mm, they. Think about this. and they sign. Their siblings are difficult because there are a few people who know you better. You see them at their best, you see their triumphs, and occasionally you show them your worst.
Okay, I need to. Yeah, okay. She does. Oh, just a at the sometimes you show them your worst, and she's just like sort of a half laugh, half sob, and I, I told her. I told her if she went, I was never gonna talk to her again. I didn't mean it. I just, I was so scared, and and I wanted, I wanted, I was hoping, I it would, it would mean that she would stay. I, I didn't want to lose her, but she went anyway, and I haven't heard from her until now.
I think T.O.C is going to move closer. It's if she doesn't want them to, they won't, but they will. They will take her hand in their little wings and just sort of hold it between their feathers. Like it's they get that she is not about a superfluous amount of physical contact, but also their heart is breaking for this kid.
um, yeah, she's she's again sort of like wiping at her eyes, like she's not as like distraught as when you first brought it up, but it's obvious that it's still like something that is very raw for her. Like, oh god, she's just, yeah.
Mm. Like I think that they just sort of make little cooing noises at her. Like it's much verbal sympathy as they are capable of, but just like little comforting. And when she's ready to look up at them again, uh, they sign. I I was my sibling's protector as well. I was the one who watched the shadows. I was the one who bullied them back into the group whenever they strayed too far. I spent my days watchful that I would not lose them. And then one day I lost them.
And her fingers sort of tighten, like, yeah, and like a shared sort of like empathy, and
Mm.
I after 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 mum got sick, I you know, I did a lot to raise her because dad had to look after mum, and it was just the two of us for a long time. And even even after I left home to pursue my studies, and like I still came back. It was I watched her grow. And then she got so big, and she wanted to go out and do things for herself, and I just, how could I just let her go?
You can't. It is the fate of everyone with family to face a time when they can't protect them anymore. Not because the danger is overwhelming, not because they fail, but because they can't live lives for other people. A golden cage is still a cage. But you aren't protecting her by staying away, Crystal. She is not safer because she is not with you.
I It's not that I don't want her away. I I didn't know how. I didn't think she wanted to reach out. I I'm still angry at her for leaving.
T.O.C sighs for probably a couple more seconds, then would be respectful. And they look at her and they go, that doesn't matter because she left. She made her choice, as is her right. And you can choose whether you're going to begrudge her that, or whether you're going to get over yourself and love her for the person she is right now.
Of course I love her for the person she is. It's you don't understand. She could be in danger.
They they take a second. It's that one. And they go, perhaps I don't understand. My sisters are in the ground. Or perhaps their bones are scattered. I don't know. I didn't look.
No,
Perhaps I don't understand.
no.
because
I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean to. I. It's complicated. Her head is in on the table right now.
mm, they ruffle her hair.
I will say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I will say for people listening and wondering what the hell are Eenie, Miney, and Mo doing at the moment. During all of this, whilst this whole thing was going on, they have very quietly just gotten up, gone around to the back of Crystal and just sat down very quietly. Put their heads down low where the eye line of T.O.C and Crystal are, because this is a conversation they don't want to interrupt. And Crystal is upset, and they are not leaving her like this. So, as much as they do not want to interrupt, they are also not going to leave. While this is happening, because if this is something that is going to cause problems for someone on their team, they are going to listen out. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, it's good. We want to know what our boys are doing.
We hold them very soft.
Anyway, please continue. They're just there. They're just sitting there.
QC is probably going to take a deep breath because they did get a little mad there.
Yeah, this like completely understandable. Like Crystal, from an outside perspective, what she said was extremely rude to T.O.C.
They will be ruder back. But they I think they sign it is less complicated than you are making it out to believe. You love your sister. Above all else, you want her to be happy. Correct?
Would you like to roll it insight?
Sure. Nat
Oh,
1.
that's a nat 1.
You want me to roll insight to see if I get
Yeah,
anything?
go
or...
ahead.
Gosh, with my beautiful, wonderful modifier of a +2.
That's
That's
another
another nat 1.
Yep.
Hey, base parser, what the fuck?
I mean, to be fair, I would say at the moment, her, actually, you know, it's actually kind of strange, honestly, because, her expression is very unreadable at the moment. There is obviously more there, but she is doing a very good job of keeping her expression very neutral right now.
Can I try something? Me, Miney, and Mo have been quite quiet while this has all been going on. Crystal, you're probably gonna just feel a head plonk onto your lap. It's probably gonna be Eenie, honestly. And not gonna say anything. He's just going to look at you very quietly, and I'm gonna roll a persuasion to see if you would be keen to elaborate on what you just said. That's okay.
Mm.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
um. So elaborate on her expression being very neutral, or to like open up, I suppose, a bit. Because she hasn't actually said anything in response to T.O.C. Her expression's just been very unreadable to it.
yeah. Basically just like, Eenie is just gonna look at her as if to say, just give us something a bit more like it's not a persuasion in that he is intentionally trying to get anything out of her, more so that he's trying to say like this is you can speak your mind more so if you would like. This isn't going to leave the room. This is you're okay to speak here, kind of thing. It's not a specific persuasion for a particular thing.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
More like just a way to comfort her to get her to open up, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. I think she will relent a little bit with that. Probably a bit of a like heave of a breath, and of course I want her to be happy, but I also want her to be safe.
Are you safe when you go through the world?
That's different.
How?
It it just is.
I watched your sister dance with a god. I saw her on a stage before hundreds of people, and she was radiant, and she was good at what she did. She was strong and capable, and so happy, Crystal. Even under pressure, she found joy. She wouldn't have had that if she had stayed home. I am truly, truly sorry that loving people hurts. I'm sorry that it's scary, that it feels like a little bit of your soul is walking around and bumping into things. But that's how it works.
What was that roll called, do?
Oh, that was a deception. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I've been make- it's been popping up a few bits, but don't worry about the rolls. They come and go, but please do continue.
Yeah, I'm just I'm trying to um oh god. Okay, let me roll another thing. Okay. God. Okay, sure. So you don't want to bring that up, but then what are you going to say, Crystal? I think
Mm.
honestly she's probably she's not responding to you. Like, it's clear that you're welcome to roll another insight if you'd like.
Sure. Nat 20.
Oh, that's a
Hey,
nat
is Dice
20.
Cursor broken?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
See what happens if I try. Insight, you said, didn't you? Let's double check. Right,
At
I
the
am
end,
rolling
we
now.
need to tally up the Nat 1s and the Nat
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah. Okay. That's about right. Yeah, author gets that. Boys do not. Boys do
Uh-huh.
not.
Okay. T.O.C, you get that she's hearing what you're saying, and it's not that she disagrees with you, but her expression is still very, very stubborn. And with that nat 20, especially with the +7 to make it 27, you are missing something. She is not bringing something up that is missing from this conversation. And she is very stubbornly keeping it in.
Jeez. They're just God. They they look at this kid with just you frustrating little okay.
Oh, you have
And
no
they
idea.
She is a walking, talking, living clamshell of a woman.
Mhm.
mm, they sign God. I bonk the chicken. Like it's be polite, be nice. I think that they sign talk to me, Crystal. I have taken secrets to my group before and I'll do it again. You are surrounded, and they look at Eenie, Miney, and Mo by people who would do very much for you.
Um,
And I know that you value objectivity, and so I wish to meet you where you are and not hyperbolize and not make promises that you have no reason to believe we will keep. But you are among friends. Oh, and we have been told if we want to roll an insight on Eenie, Miny, and Mo. Then
yeah,
11.
you've said a certain thing.
Uh,
Okay, don't worry about it. Neither of you get it. It's fine. Please continue.
Hell. Hell.
Don't worry about it.
Alright.
Fine. Continue.
alright, I'm gonna roll another. Okay. I'm sort of like with these with saves, I'm almost taking a bit of the opposite approach where the lower numbers is like uh getting her to actually open up more.
Mm,
Blade.
the wise thing to do would be to talk. Apparently, she's not being wise right now.
Yeah, it's basically I'm basically running it as a how well she is keeping her mental guards up, I suppose.
Ah.
So yeah, that was a 10, which uh um I think that's enough. To now I've just gotta figure out it's I she doesn't know. She doesn't know the danger she could be in. We haven't told her.
I don't want to make you roll yet another insight on the chicken.
Yeah, okay, I can do that.
I am also
Okay.
Oh.
Unnatural 20.
Very nice. Okay, never mind. Continue.
When you say that, you see T.O.C sit up, and their gaze sharpens just a little bit. And for a second, they look a little bit like Eenie, Miney, and Mo, in that they look like a bird of prey. They look like they have scented blood. But that's not necessarily in it's not in the that doesn't bleed into their tone, for lack of a better word, as they very gently sign. Who's after your sister?
No one's after her. It's complicated.
Starting to really hate that word. They gently ease out of who the fuck am I going to have to kill today? Which, like, if they had a nickel for every time, like, they suspected they were going to have to kill someone to keep someone safe, they'd have, let's see, 1, 2, 4 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's, like, enough to get, like, a cheap soda. And they shuffle their feathers and they sign. You are not keeping her safer in ignorance. I'm sure I don't have to tell a scholar that.
Oh boy, okay, I gotta... okay. Ooh, I'm rolling that at disadvantage. Okay, apparently she is fighting me today. You get another stubborn look.
They give her a stubborn look right back. God, I did not expect these two to be narrative foils. I did not expect that when I got up today.
Do you guys want me to roll another persuasion to see if they can get Crystal to crack a little?
Yeah, you can go for it.
That's 22.
Oh, what do they do?
All right. Oh, that is a good question. So it was Enie's head on Crystal's lap. I'm gonna roll a hammer space quickly. Don't be a 1. Good. Thank you. And then Mo's gonna reach into the ruff around his neck and pull out a blanket. Just kind of drape it over Candle's shoulders, like very. I'm so sorry, Crystal's shoulders.
Join me in the shame box.
It's Shamebox Central this game, guys.
Now
But
it's
yeah, they're gonna.
only waiting for me to call myself my character.
They put it around Crystal's shoulders. and Miney is there. It's weird because they're really just not going to say anything. Um, but they are just gonna shuffle a little closer until they're pressed up against Crystal's back. And like Crystal, you can feel it's something like really soft. Is just pressing against your back, and you've got the blanket that is around your shoulders now, and it is kind of a feeling of like warm and you're safe because there is something large behind you, and for all of their ridiculousness and irritability and nonsensical, soonish silliness, you have seen these three. You've seen them in action. You've seen that when if things are tough, they will be there, and it seems it's not just when things are tough physically against a physical foe. Um, even now they're not saying anything because they it's your time to speak, and the way they're looking at you, um, they just they want you to open up because they can't help. They can't be useful and help you if you don't. Being quiet won't do anything but get you stuck. So they're just sitting there looking at you and waiting.
Hmm. Hmm. It is a really good role, and it's really, it's really, it's really soft and sweet, but
Mm,
it's this girl. I shake her. um. I. She's not. Hmm. She
it's
will
not
give.
quite enough.
She will give a little bit, in that she. I can't tell her.
God.
That I think they will probably speak up and say, or at least one of them will say, don't have to tell her if you don't want. You can't keep it all to yourself. If you have some kind of secret or some sort of feeling as to why she's in danger, then even if you don't want to tell her directly, it might be better to tell someone because it's keeping something like that is keeping something like that bottled up. It can do some damage, Crystal. Can't keep that. Can't keep that all on you. And if you want, you can roll an insight.
Okay, I will. I will roll an insight.
Yeah, I also roll an insight.
Me, absolutely.
Oh,
Cool.
that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Oh,
23.
both get this. Crystal, yeah, you look at Mo, and there seems to be a kind of understanding on his face. Like he gets not wanting to tell people things that could hurt them, because you know you care about them. He gets that, but also he gets that you should probably open up and tell other people at least, so you can get more advice and feedback and such. So you're not just stuck working on this by yourself. T.O.C with a 23. You see that. Man, I can't believe you're getting this. You see that not only does Mo show empathy, you get the impression that Mo has or is there, is at that point of having to like keep a secret from someone. And you can also tell there's probably a bit of hypocrisy in that somehow. Like there's something about the way his beak twists is a little wry, perhaps. Um, but you don't get much more than that.
Mm. All right. Just gonna file that one away in the old cabinet.
Don't worry about it, it's fine. um, yeah, that's what they say to you, Crystal.
Oh, oh God. she is. She is fighting this conversation tooth and nail, and I'm having a lot of trouble getting like what and how she's responding to things.
Would it help if Author and I rolled another insight just to see if we can find a way to get her to open up more?
Oh yeah, sure.
Is there a route we can approach?
12. Shit.
Dirty 20.
Unnatural 20.
Oh, actually, this kind of makes sense a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Um, don't get me wrong. It's nice and all, but platitude and sympathy is not going to help in this situation because she's had people do that before and it's not worked, and there is an element of like independence of no, this is something I've taken on myself and I'm going to carry it. But um so I think T.O.C can get that much, but I with that dirty 20 um Crystal's walls tend to break when you push her.
God.
Oh, okay then, right. So,
I shake the chicken.
give me a second.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no, you know what? I'm gonna give this to Author. Um,
Yeah.
you see, um, you see Mo's head kind of tilt to the side, and then you do see his hair just kind of poof a little bit, and like slightly rear back, kind of like in realization. He looks down at the ground where Miney's head is just on the floor, and then he looks towards Enie's head, who is still in Crystal's lap, and you are just gonna see like the slightest of nods come from Mo. Just gonna retract back down, pop his head on the floor, and then Miney's gonna come up, and so is Eenie, and oh my gosh. Okay, give me a second because I need to think about how they're gonna approach this.
Oh, you're all good.
I mean, I know exactly what the chicken's gonna do. If you want a sec.
Yeah, go ahead. Go off, Author.
I mean, like, I don't think they, like you said, they did not get the 21. They don't know that, like, she does, like, pressure will make her crack. But, like, she reminds them so much of them when they were young and new. And they are not the ticked off chicken for nothing. They're just like, what would have worked on me? What would have like driven me? And it's the thing that always drives them, anger. So they're just going to sit and think of the worst possible thing they could ever say to anyone in their position. And they're going to look at Crystal and they're going to sign. I don't know why. You are insisting on making this worse. I don't know why, when you obviously love your sister so much, you are putting her in more danger. I don't know why you have chosen to exit her life. I don't know why you have chosen not to be there for all the times that she has been in such danger, as you say. But I expected more of you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, oof.
Yeah. Oh, that'll do it.
And they're also just gonna ready in action to dodge.
uh, um, you're still wrapped around her, are you?
Um, yeah, I will say, Eenie and Miney have kind of gone hovering each head over her shoulder. They were about to do something, but I think TOC's just gone and done it. They have no idea what TOC has signed because they don't know sign.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I guess whatever you do next, they'll react to.
Yeah, then you might want to make a deck save.
Deck save. Okay. Wait, hang on, it's a save. That is. Oh yeah, okay, that's better. Oh, okay, it's
Okay.
a 10.
Um,
Hey y'all, remember when we were struggling with the couch? Remember how funny that was?
um,
Good times.
funny you should mention the couch. 'Cause
God.
the chair that Crystal was sitting in gets slammed back into you as she like basically jumps to her feet.
You just hear a as they go flying back.
Uh, and yeah, there is definitely a very like a look
Oh,
of
for God's sakes.
there is definitely a look of anger as she just like sort of slams her fist into the tabletop and is like, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare say that I have done nothing for her. I have spent my entire life trying to fix this.
Mm.
Why do you think I do what I do?"
Oh,
I will say, as you say that, I'm really sorry to interrupt a really cool moment, but I will say, as you say that, you'll hear distantly from where anybody have over knocked that, because you're a nerd!
T.O.C. Oh God. I'm so sorry for laughing hysterically.
Good
I
nerd.
think like that was the piece, huh? And they
Mm.
go, "Oh, she's cursed."
uh, and a lot of the like fight, I suppose, kind of leaves her as she's sort of realized what's happened. Oh no. um and there's a, yeah, you might have hit a fair amount of it on the head.
Okay, for those of you, I'm very sorry to interrupt once again. I've been rolling a few things whilst this has been happening. So when Crystal flung them back, I rolled to make an athletics check to see how they were doing to get up. They rolled a 9. So yeah, no, they're prone. And I was like, how are they prone? Oh, I guess when they get knocked back, they skidded under the sofa and got their head stuck again. And I rolled a strength to see if they could get themselves up. They rolled a 10. They can't get up. They are stuck. Don't worry about that.
We've
That's
got
not what this
this
is about. This isn't
really
about them.
this is really tense moment between Crystal and T.O.C. And just in the background there's M with their head stuck under the couch.
It's like it's all in one frame and it focuses on Crystal and TOC, then it slowly focuses on M in the background, just heads under the sofa. And then it slowly focuses back on Crystal and T.O.C again. Please do continue, don't worry about me.
God. They. I mean, you can roll an insight to see what the chicken was thinking, saying that.
Sure.
An 11. That tracks, actually. I mean, it's. I am temporarily revoking the advantage on insight on the chicken because you're angry. Like, it's chicken expression. Yeah. But they. Like, I think they stood up, like, just, like, not flinching away, but, like, getting ready. In case you decided to hit them with something, a little bit stronger than just yelling.
No, Crystal.
Um,
It would take more than that to get Crystal to. She's weak, baby. She fight with words.
mm, yeah, but they're just like their gaze is level and knowing, and maybe that's a little bit uncomfortable, but they just sign. God, what do they sign? I shake my chicken.
It goes,
No, making me laugh is making it worse. They sign. All right, fight
sorry.
me. God, they sign. Crystal, my sisters are dead. I will never be able to do a single thing for them ever again. I won't be able to talk to them or see them. In a way, they are the safest they have always been because nothing can get to them anymore. I can do nothing for my sisters, but you can if you get over yourself.
Uh, she will bristle a little bit at that and like, what do you want me to do?
I want you to go back on your promise to her that you will never speak to her again because she left. It's not making her safer. It's not breaking any curse. All it did was make sure that she had one less person to turn to when things were hard. I don't know exactly what danger she's in, but your sister is my friend. She is friend to my daughter. And I am positive I am not the only person with all of her grace and kindness that she has befriended in her days. You can you can become part of her family again. You can take up your place as someone who is genuinely, and I know this, genuinely trying to keep her safe. Or you can sit here with us and listen to us nag you about it.
Yeah.
You hear a thudunk come from the sofa.
I'm sorry. She's not paying any attention to you,
No, they're valid. It was kind of like a thudunk in agreement, honestly, more than anything.
Fair. I think, yeah, most of the fight has left her at this point, and like, there's a little bit of like mumbling. You catch. It technically wasn't a promise. And but the before and like other little things as she sort of well, she can't really take her seat anymore because it's not it's a little bit further back, but as she goes, I I don't know how to reach her.
Side note: T.O.C got Cassie's contact info, right? Like they could track down this kid if they wanted to, right?
Um, I'm just trying to remember.
I'm pretty sure they did. If they didn't, they would have. If only so they could organize playdates.
Yeah, you probably did then. Like you wouldn't have gotten it at the time when you pulled her aside, but at the very least she definitely gave her contact information to Marigold at the end.
Mm. Yeah, they sign I can. Whenever both of you are ready.
Um okay. Yeah. Okay. If she wants to, I want to. I I miss her. But you can't mention this to her.
She misses you too. And you have my promise on the memory of my sisters that I will do nothing to put her in danger and everything I can to see her to a happy ending.
All right. Yeah. She will nod at that. Cuz yeah, like this is I will just add a character, say a little bit, cuz it's not brought up a huge amount, but like yeah, she is like half Fae, so she knows the power of words, and like that's why there was like it wasn't technically a promise, because there are a lot of like nuances for them about that, and sort of thing, but you know it things don't like intent has a large part about it, but so do words, and as much as like so when you say that there is a fair amount of weight behind it that's more than just regular words.
Mm. Yeah, and they like they're not Fae themselves, but they grew up in Fae country. Like there's a reason why they don't go around going by their any real name they might have. Um and they are very aware that they just poked the Fae. That could have landed them in deep enough water that the dead god could not fish them out. Um, but as things stand, they smooth down some of the angry fluff feathers that might have stood up, and they give her a very formal nod, just as they gave Eenie, Miney, and Mo earlier, or I guess just Mo. Um, and they will like push the chair back to the table and put another piece of pizza on her plate and just sort of be like, it's wind down time now.
Yeah, yeah. Crystal is like she returns the nod, and then like as T.O.C is doing that, there is a very quiet thank you.
They they preen a little bit of her hair, like just even if it's like stained glass, there's not a lot to preen there, but like just reassuring, just little point of contact. And then they will go and fish Eenie, Miney, and Mo out from under the sofa.
Fair.
What, Robbie's strength?
Could it be athletics?
Yeah, go for it. Oh, okay, you know what? Roll with advantage because they are also helping you. They're trying to, now that they feel someone is trying to tug them out, they are. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say it's enough.
Mm,
It takes a
yeah,
good
like
tug, and you might move the sofa a few inches with like, but you do eventually get them out, and they are. You know
they
what? I'm gonna roll a con. So let's see how well you work.
consider they instead of trying to lift the sofa, they
Yeah.
just like pull on their legs until their heads go boom.
That's what I was imagining. You were pulling on their
Perfect.
legs, and as you did, their heads kind of got stuck because it is a low to the floor sofa, so you had to pull a little harder to get their heads out. You did manage it. As you do, with that 13, they are looking a little bit sleepy, but they're not asleep.
They they will sit them up and like preen each of their heads again. Like they're good boys who were doing their best to keep their friend okay.
Cool. Let me just roll
Yes.
something quickly. Okay, cool. Never mind. Yeah, they just let it happen.
Mm.
They don't react. They are too sleepy. What was that for, Candle?
I rolled another with save. See how she's doing after all this.
Mm.
Oh.
Not great.
T.O.C is going to grab one of the blankets that they left out for Eenie, Miney, and Mo, and just sort of toss one over her shoulders and like careful not to touch her directly, like just sort of like very firmly tug it like taut around her shoulders so that it's like a little bit of pressure.
Hmm.
And they're just going to very patiently sit there and go, okay, tell me what the first thing cat- the, your categorization system is sorted by. Now tell me the third thing. Now tell me the fifth thing.
um. First thing. First thing. First thing is magical potency. Third thing. Third thing is alphabetation. Fifth thing is color. And yeah, she will slowly calm down with that.
Hmm.
Let me try something. Just a quick question. Are you both like sat on the floor or sat on a chair?
I think
I will leave that up to Candles.
um I I don't know.
Because if you didn't know, I was gonna try and have Eenie Miny Mole roll something, especially because they are a bit sleepy at the moment.
uh I think I don't know. I just yeah, I think maybe the floor. I think like she'd sort of gotten up from the table once she realized that she wasn't like getting um Like, she wasn't calming down to try and, maybe she went over to the cabinets or something and then was like, nope, nope, this isn't helping, and sort of like sunk to the floor when T.O.C came over.
Okay. Well, they were trying to be sneaky about it. They're not doing too hard on that front, but they did try to like sneakily like pick Crystal up and put her in the nest. They wouldn't have picked up T.O.C. They like Eenie would probably have just like very quietly nudged T.O.C in the back of the head as they walked past. But then again, I don't know if Crystal was going to allow them to do this.
Oh, she's not gonna fight you at the moment. I don't think she has
All right.
the. She put all of that fight into the previous conversation. She's got nothing left at the moment.
She fought the chicken. She wasn't prepared for the ostrich. So yeah, they're just gonna like prompt you up and guide you to the nest and thwomp you down onto that. And T.O.C, I mean, you've kind of been like knocked, not like knocked aside, but like gestured um to the nest if you want.
Mm.
Gentle
They will
head invite.
Gentle nudge.
they will take a second to appreciate the total lack of Tupperware in this scenario. Just like good touch. And they will flutter up, and like they do wait for another sign from M, just to make sure that like they've already trespassed here. Like they're not going to make the same mistake twice, but they're also like just going to make sure that they're good.
Okay. You want to roll me a deck save?
Sure. If it's a grappling check, they do get advantage.
Okay. Probably with advantage then.
All right. Well, well.
Okay. Come on, lads.
Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
won. I
For the
won.
listening audience, that was a 3, a 6, and then a 7.
Oh man, I beat you by one. Hey, you sit by the nest. Miney just reaches out, puts his beak around your sides, plucks you up, and just plonks you in the nest.
Mm.
Not a single one of them has said a word yet. They have all just plonked down, and um, they are all they're all just gonna plonk their heads onto around like the curved bowl side of the nest, and they're just gonna freaking stay there.
Mm.
I will say,
God.
probably one of Crystal's hands is gently stroking whichever head is nearest to her.
That will probably be at the moment. That would be Eenie, probably.
Then Eenie is getting head scratches.
Yeah, Enie's gonna take them. Not gonna say anything. But yeah, I didn't know. Obviously, this is still your guys' thing. You guys have got if you've got stuff to say or do, please do continue.
I mean, I know there was one more thing on like the laundry list of uh things to do today that we talked about earlier. I don't know quite how to get to it, but I think like for now, like I think T.O.C actually starts humming,
Aww.
and it's a low, warm voice. Like it's um not singing. Crystal, you know very well that they're just not capable of that. But they're just going to gently hum a lullaby.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna roll for this, but yeah. and I'm not gonna make anyone else roll from this, but there are tears on Crystal's face when you begin to do that. Like, it's completely silent, but they're there.
I will say, as T.O.C starts to do that, they also just like you just hear like slowly one by one, Eenie, Miney, and Mo kind of join in. Again, they don't say anything, but they do just like come along. And considering they're a bard, and I know this isn't this is for flavour mostly, but they're a bard and they've got a thing they can cast which is called Song of Rest, which is you and some friendly creatures gain a d6 of additional healing at the end of a short rest, which no functional use, but nice to have after some emotional powwow like that.
Okay. I'm gonna roll.
Ah.
Oh,
Oh.
your singing has put Crystal to sleep.
God.
So soft. Oh, gee.
This is. I know exactly why. I knew this was a potential, like, in that she actually hasn't had someone sing her to sleep since she was 8.
Oof.
God.
Give me the ouchies, Candle. Give me the ouchies, the baubles upon my heart. Ah.
God.
Oh gosh. I will say, if she falls asleep, Eenie is not gonna move. He's just, you know what? As she drifts off, Eenie is actually also probably gonna drift off too. Let me just roll. Let's see. What did I roll for your con save earlier, lads? Come on, where are you? I think it's. Oh, it's just a +1. Okay. Don't be in that one. There we go. Okay, same as before then. Yeah, I'll say at this point, Enie's probably also just nodded off as he was humming along Pistol's lap. So it's only Miney and Mo awake at the moment. So they are both looking very sleepy. How's T.O.C doing, by the way? Do you want me to roll an insight?
Sure.
Okay.
Fucking
You get high on this
18.
one.
Alright. With an 18. God. T.O.C looks raw. They. Like, now that Crystal isn't paying attention, like, they're looking at her with such affection and pain and sorrow. Because, well, with an 18, you might not get why, but you definitely get that she reminds them there is so much recognition there in the way that she loves, in the way that she holds on to things. And she's picked her road, and they'd be a hypocrite if they did anything to dissuade her, but it's a tough one. And I'm going to say, as kind of a kindred spirit, you can see that rather than, oh, that poor soul, that's not going to end well for it. You can see there's a little bit of calculation there in, like, okay, how are we going to deal with all this? Like they have taken it as a given. They're on like whatever she needs. If they can do it, they're gonna.
Okay. All right. Well, Miney and Mo are just kind of glance at each other, quick shift of the beaks. Before Mo gives a nod and just pokes his head on the rim of the nest, and it's gonna be Miney's turn to have a chat with you, I think. And he's gonna just go. So it was a lot. It happened in the span of a couple hours.
They look around for their notebook because they probably set it aside and they write. Yeah, that sofa got you pretty good.
Well, let's be fair. Once you're under that thing, you were having a bit of trouble as well.
They just fluff their feathers.
Miney reaches forward and just gently jabs you in the chest and says, "Yeah." So there was a whole bunch of stuff that just happened. We were not aware of most of any of that. Which is going to be it's going to be something to think about. And as he says "think," you can just see him wince. One of his eyes just twitches, like oh, ouch. Continuing on, it's going to be a whole basket of ferrets to deal with. It at the point that, well, whilst we were stuck head first under the sofa, we did hear you lot talking about, you wanted to help Crystal do, and I don't know if Crystal wants us involved in that. I don't know if you want us involved in that. If you don't, then not gonna you're not gonna stick our beaks in where it don't want it, at least not in this case. But if you need to blow off some steam, I mean, you did say at least once we were finished after our little race, you did say that you could apparently beat us in a fight. Apparently, so if you needed to blow off that steam, and get yourself a bit more what's the word? Get yourself a bit more practice out there. Give me a second. Sorry. If you wanted to,
You're good.
if you wanted to, have some steam and get yourself a bit more practice and show us what you're really made of. I'm not gonna say no to a star if you wanted. Maybe you work through all this, and he's just gonna gesture towards where Crystal is slumped against their side. And yeah,
Rewrite. You're not comfy with emotions either, huh?
a second, I gotta think. You're gonna see Miney do kind of a think, and you are actually gonna hear like the gears grinding in his head. Because and you see his eyes kind of squint because he's trying to think about how to word this. He is not the feely one of the bunch, at least not this type of feely. And he's trying to think about how to phrase it. It's not that it's not that we don't do feelings, right? We're people. Probably. No, yeah, we definitely people. we each have our strengths and weaknesses in places, and we all kind of cover each other up for it. Uh, Emotions, there are things that probably we better on than just feelings. Dwelling on things, dwelling on the past is dwelling on feelings is not going to get you anywhere.
Mm.
Kind of thing you work through it. You keep looking forward. Dwelling on the past or the present ain't going to get you nowhere. You just got to keep going, one foot in front of the other, and keep thinking feelings and dealing with them, then you ain't going to go nowhere.
Mm. They. Hmm. They're right. Thank you. I will be just fine. And I would like you boys to be fine as well. You know where to find me, I'm told.
They are going to squint at that. At least Miney is, but with that 13 on their con save, they are still too sleepy to really question it any further, and they're just gonna nod their head and right, well, if you ever do need to work off that steam, or show us what you got, and actually prove that you're stronger than us instead of your wily tricks and smart traps and the like, then you just see that the mouth open wide and like a yawn bubble come out and leave a small as Tony's eyes start to droop a little longer and poof onto the side of the nest, and he says, "Maybe we're not really. We get around quite a bit, but I'm sure if you called in a crystal, she'd be able to tell you there." And he just starts to drift off and starts to snore.
Yeah, I think they just sort of nudge his head closer and start preening the feathers on top of it, just rather than just the quick little affection earlier. We were like, okay, this boy's feathers are dusty. Like like they are going to keep watch because whatever else they are built for this. They are built for young, lonely, heart-sore people who need, if not a parent, then someone in their corner. And that's just what they'll do.
And it has been a time and a half. Oh, unless I don't know if you guys had anything else you wanted to add to that.
Ah.
I'm good.
Crystal is asleep, and she should probably stay asleep. I think she needs the rest.
Mm. I think eventually T.O.C will just sort of fetch Mo, you're going to strain your neck. But other than that,
Sorry?
they don't move for a while.
Sorry, what did T.O.C say to Mo?
they're going to basically poke him back into the nest. Like you're going to strain your neck like that. Come on.
Mo kind of I will say, you poke Mo. Mo kind of shakes and just says, "I'm all right, thanks. I was gonna keep watch," and he's gonna keep his head out. Mm-hmm.
It's 4 hours, but I also kind of want to poke that.
We can poke that another time if you want. It has been almost 4 hours.
I will leave that up to you two. I am more than happy to do either option.
I think
You
we
know
should probably
what?
now. Unless,
Sorry,
Arthur
I'll
wants to
just.
say.
I mean, I was gonna say if you're gonna go to town, you might as well go into Lincoln. But also, I will leave that up to you guys.
If you want to do it, I'm fine with doing it, but I am also aware of time.
For
But
a
if you want
penny
to
and
poke
for a
that, go
pound.
ahead. Yeah.
All right. I think that they flutter up to Mo and because they also saw that little bit of self-directed cynicism earlier, and they're just going to sit and just sort of sit next to him and alternate between looking around the room and looking at him because they are keeping watch and they are being the sentinel, but they're also hey Mo, you got a chicken looking at you.
Uh. Hmm. Mo's just gonna. Let me just. I'm gonna see how much attention he's paying to that. 18. Yeah, he sees it. He just is. You just see Mo has just been dead still as he's been just sort of sitting there. But you do get the impression his hair does shift every now and then. So you get the impression he is looking around. And then he kind of slowly, slightly turns his beak towards you and is there a reason you ain't asleep yet? I'm keeping watch, it's alright.
They are writing this. I never sleep well unless I'm with Juniper.
It's just gonna nod and say, yeah, makes sense. I can't really imagine falling asleep without, without Eenie and Miney there, honestly. And you can roll an insight if you want.
Sure. 13. Did they roll with advantage because they did see earlier?
Yeah, go for it.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, nat 20! Okay, give me a second. I need to think about how I phrase this. So you get the impression, firstly, when you first met them, they did say they were rangers, and they also said that they travelled a lot, didn't often stay in one place too long. And despite the fact that they have a nest here, you do kind of think they come and go quite often because you've seen them around in places far away from Inkwell. I mean, they came to UPA and that's a trip and a half. And I know some tunes use montage, but you get the impression these guys aren't like that. When you're a toon by yourselves on the road, and also a ranger, it stands to reason that if there are 3 of you, then you would take turns sleeping in shifts. And, wake each other up, and pass on the shift to the next person, kind of deal. So you get the impression that this isn't something uncommon for these 3. This sort of shift layover of, okay, it's your turn to be awake, I'll take over from then, kind of deal. So you get the feeling that Mo being awake while the others are asleep are normal. But you also, with a 27, man, you pick up on like a very slight tremor in Mo's voice. Um kind of kind of unsettled, kind of uncertain, a little just a little shaky.
They, hmm, they write, I have done this too often to expect you to sleep. But you are safe. You are not alone. There are people around you who are very dedicated to keeping you okay. What you did for Crystal earlier, she would do the same. You just saw firsthand how fiercely defensive she is.
He's gonna nod his head at that and say, "Yeah, no, Crystal is the oh off that one. I mean, they ain't exactly know, a tough nut when it comes to like fighting and stuff. Still need to neg her to get some kind of armor, honestly. Because mage armor can only do so much, especially in like anti-magic fields and stuff, you know. But anyway, this, I mean, it's not, it's not me I'm worried about."
I know it's not. I don't know what you're not telling your brothers, but you're safe tonight.
Okay, cool. Actually, you know what? I might piggyback off of that insight you rolled. When you say brothers, Mo kind of flinches a little and looks away. It says, "Yeah, I know we're no, we're not out in the wilds at the moment. It's we're in a city. It's different rules here. It's all different and I know that, but because things are different doesn't mean that they aren't also the same."
They think they lean against Mo's head just a little bit. Like not especially like being careful not to um not to like be a blind spot, not to get in the way of his field of vision.
I mean,
But
considering sorry, I just wanted to say, considering his head is just one big shaggy mop of like feathers and hair, it's
yeah,
I don't think it's gonna affect much wherever you lean. Um, but please continue.
like they just I think they just sort of like tuck him a little bit underneath their body, like one does with chicks, and they stand tall, or they like their head is up, their eyes are watching their surroundings with every bit of that plus 10 to perception, and very gently, so that Mo is probably the only one who can hear. They're going to start humming again.
Hmm. Okay. Oh, right. You start humming, and like within like a few seconds, Bo picks it up as well, starts humming alongside you. It's almost as if like force of habit kind of thing, almost just instinctual kind of thing. But he hums right alongside you. I'm gonna roll performance actually. How well do you do it, lad? Alright, okay. You're still very sleepy, so it's a bit wobbly. It's a little out of tune. Is he is sleepy like his brothers, but well, not at least like Eenie and Miney. But he is just he's just not ready to sleep yet. He cannot sleep. Because he is the one that is awake, while the other two are asleep. And that is just how it is.
Mm. And I think if everyone's okay with it, we sort of pan out as Mo keeps watch, and T.O.C thinks of sisters here and gone, and brothers, or not brothers. And the apartment is still and safe, and a little bit better than it was earlier.
Uh, yeah.
Oh, that was
Fine.
wonderful.
That was a lot. Whew. That was so good.
Jeepers H. Creepers.